Jamie! No Leon Fernie. No Liam. No Aidan Bennett. Stuff's off, not yet here. Time is it? 4 minutes to, we've got 2 minutes. Can't hear Dan, so I don't know if that's working. Copy that. Making a coffee. Properties. That. Paste that. Do that. That.
Hello?
All right. Can you hear me?
I can.
Right. I don't know what's just happened then.
What?
We're in the session. Everybody's coming in. Then I get disconnected. Just as I was joining this party. And then I thought there was a problem because then I couldn't hear you.
No, I've been downstairs.
But yeah, but obviously you've been doing a coffee.
Yeah.
What's up? You don't sound too happy.
Just down, mate. Not in the best mood.
You alright?
Not really, mate.
Right, well, I'm live on my stream, so if you want to talk to me, we'll chat when it's done. Aidan's pulled out. He can't commit.
Yeah, I've seen.
And there's no Liam.
That's fine.
His wheels obviously cracked even more, and now his wires are not working, so he looks like he's caught one of his wires. And obviously it's now affecting all his buttons, so he can't load up on the wheel.
That's fine. That's, won't be a, what's it called? I can't remember.
I don't know if you've just stopped talking there, but it's gone all quiet.
Yeah, I've just...
Alright, sweet. Can you hear a squeak? Can you hear her squealing?
Yeah, I can hear her squealing.
Fuck, that's our taps at minute.
Nice.
Floyd! Quick, come here. Come here and turn the cold tap on in the kitchen. Turn the cold tap on in the kitchen, leave it running, then go back upstairs. And then shut that door. Just leave it. Shut that door. Good evening and welcome to Simplate Motorsport, here for rounds 11 and 12 of the season, the halfway mark, and we're at Spa-Francorchamps for this mid-season race. A couple of drivers missing tonight. We have lost Aidan Bennett from the championship. We are also missing Leon Fernie Stealth Sloth at the moment in time, and there will be no That Bossy Boy. We are down to 12 though, so I do believe that someone else isn't on that list who was there a little earlier. But we are at Spa, mid-session points of the season. Little Each currently stopped in the pit lane, and Matthew Duffy joined in the commentary box once again on a Wednesday night. He's back this week. It's Dan Davis. Dan, how are you?
I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. You don't have to put up with Argent no longer. It's back to me once again. And yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Yourself, Matthew?
Very, very good. Very excited to get this one underway, Dan. Spa's always provided some great entertainment, and none more so than the end of the Pro Series last season, where you took your third title in the snow. So Spa always seems to bring entertaining value to the stream and to the racing.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely so. Spa is one of those classic F1 circuits where anything and everything can happen here, from weather to drivers not being able to keep it together in certain corners. But nonetheless, we are live here for Spa, and one interesting round this is going to provide is going to be mixed performances from drivers. I reckon people in the Mercedes are going to be very mighty down the Camel Straight, and I was saying that wrong, Camel, whatever you want to call it. They're going to be very powerful down up towards turn 4 and 5. But also you've got the likes of the Audi and Ginettas are going to be so much more powerful in the Sector 2 sector of this circuit. So really an amazing circuit, Spa, and also it'd be such a shame if we do lose this track on the F1 calendar because it is such an iconic and beautiful circuit.
Indeed it is, and what a shame it would be. And like you say, Sector 2 all about the Ginetta and the Audi, but Sectors 1 about the Lamborghini and the Mercedes-Benz, and that Mercedes-Benz in particular looks a hot favourite round here. A lot of drivers making an extra appearances tonight, none so more than a few who are getting to their 150th and to that 100 mark. Smithy is 6 away from the 100 mark. He will be the next man to get that one. In terms of pole positions, nobody really at the record of 25 yet. The closest man is Jamie Brazier. But will we see anybody get closer to that in the Pro-Am? In terms of the manufacturer wins and pole positions, though, if a Mercedes-Benz gets pole position tonight, it will be its 50th pole in the Pro-Am, as we have lost Welshie, so we hope Welshie can get back in. But it will be Mercedes-Benz's 50th pole position in the AMG in Pro-Am tonight. If it can win both races, it'll be its 50th win in the Pro-Am, and there's a lot of them out there on the track tonight to get that one done. In terms of the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship, then it looks like this. Little Leach is your championship leader, 20 points clear. And we say it every week, this man, Bryn, a bit of a underdog in this season, sitting in third. He's 10 points clear of Ukbar, who's 30 off the back of Little Leach. And Ukbar in recent weeks has been in some immense form. A bit of a poor showing at Zolder in the wet last week, but the Dutch domination of 2 weeks ago, can he bring that back here at Spa, where, as we see down in the F1, there's a lot of Dutch support here in Belgium.
There is definitely a massive Dutch support here. Obviously, until we had Zandvoort, this is where most of the Dutch fans came to watch the likes of Max Verstappen, and especially Ukbar, our main Dutchman himself. So it's nice to see the Dutch fans here, as we haven't had to travel very far from Zolder.
No, that's a question actually. Did you have to use a passport to get here? Domestic travel and everything in Belgium?
Well, to be fair, I did have my passport on me anyway, because obviously I fly from UK to Belgium anyway, but not to get into Spa, sadly not. But
there we go then.
Simplate Motorsport, staying green and looking after the planet, as we've only just stayed in Belgium for 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, look at us. That Buzzy boy forgot his passport. That's why he's not here. It's not that his wheels broke. It's that he can't travel domestically without. Yeah, he can't travel domestically without a passport. And for those of you in the chat wondering what the hell me and Dan are on about, if you know that Buzzy boy, you'll understand that he's a bit. Is a few screws short, and. Yeah, it was a funny conversation in the party the other night. But back to the current standings.
You didn't phrase that very well.
I didn't. No, I was meant to say. I should have said he's a few sandwiches short of a picnic.
Yeah,
that would have been a better one. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Holty then is P4 in the Drivers' Championship, 52 points off the back of Little Leach. He's a point in front of J.M. Grill and his teammate, who are tied in P5. Welshie then is P7, only a few points back behind them. Dean Wysocki moved up to 8th place last week, with Smithy going in tonight. Stealth Sloth down in 10th, 1 point ahead of DJ Phil. Max Mulder, who had a fantastic debut last week with back-to-back wins, is currently in P12, with that Buzzy boy 13th. And Shane, who's starting to look like he's improving, especially now he's on the wheel, he's down in 14th place. What can he do? Leon Fernie yet to score, and if he misses tonight, that'll be the end of his season. Pick and Mix Motorsport lead the way, 29 points clear of the Teletubby Motorsport boys, with Terminal Velocity Racing in 3rd place, 41 behind. MC Motorsport are 71 points off the back of that. Super Crash Bros then in P5 after losing 30 points due to Shenron pulling out. They lost all championship points that Shenron scored, so that's dropped them down, tied with My Mate Racing, but ahead of getting quick at My Mate, as Welshie is back in the session and has just got back in the session. So we are just missing Stealth Sloth and Leon Fernie in this race. That would take us to 14. No Buzzy Boy and Aidan Bennett means 16 drivers. That is the full grid.
And a fun night's worth of racing we have ahead of us, and hopefully after the fun events of Zolder, a lot of these drivers have been naughty boys, and I've been seeing myself in the stewards, and I have to say, between Pro and Pro-Am, these boys have been very naughty since I've been away, but I'll be keeping a watchful eye on everyone. All the final warnings have now gone out. This is it. No more Mr. Nice Guy no more, because there was a lot of reviews to look over on the weekend. But nonetheless, we are here at Spa, one of the most famous circuits in the world, Spa-Francorchamps, and I don't know about you, Matt, but this is a circuit that definitely is highly rated for myself. Yeah. I don't know about you.
Yeah, very highly rated in myself as well. And the changes they've made in the real world to get Spa back to being a bit safer and a bit better makes it look that old school feel with the gravel traps they've put in. Just kind of makes it that more of a dominant circuit for me in terms of its appearance. It looks back to the way the old school tracks used to be, and that just tops it off for me.
I feel like the scare factor though will be taken out of it. Obviously, the idea of going up Eau Rouge flat and having that confidence to go up it flat with no fear. It's one of those I guess one of those moments for those drivers to think that, you know, I'm invincible at this point. But obviously, when things go badly wrong, they can end tragically wrong. But nonetheless, these guys are in no danger whatsoever. As Overtaker says, let's see some quick laps here. And Overtaker has made a very, very bold statement.
He did.
To us. He said he's done a 2:16 is his best around here. Now, unless he's driving something that has barely any fuel and it's in time trial, I reckon that is a time that we won't see from the Pro-Ams. But even myself struggled in the practice sessions to get out of the 2:18. So if he's able to do a 2:16, he's got to put his money where his mouth is tomorrow night.
He's got to back it up, hasn't he? He said that on the interview last week with yourself after race 2. He's got to back it up tomorrow night. He laid down the statement and has to back it up now as Lidl then goes quickest and spins coming through turn 1. The pole is out though. Through you think will be pole position. Then Lidl, Max Mulder, Lucas Roth or Rugbar are the current 4 picked. If you do think different, please let us know in the chat with who you think will be on pole position. As we say, a very good evening to PN Motorsport, Smithy, Dean Wisocki, N Plava, Mother Davis, Fury's Grandad Overtaker and Max Mulder in the chat himself. All here, 18 people watching. If you do like what you see, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell to be notified. Dan Davis and Jamie Brazier will be live with coverage tomorrow night of the Pro Series here, mid-session point of the season. As Little Leach is now disconnected, so we hope to get Little Leach back in, and still no Leon Fernie or Stealth Sloth at this moment in time, so we hope they get in as well. They've got plenty of time though, with 6 minutes left of this practice session. And Dan, which car tonight is your favourite? Obviously, I know you drive the Lamborghini a lot in the practice session. It's a car you've looked at doing a lot of things with. But what out there in the Pro-Am grid, and who out there do you think is the man to grab the bull by the horns and take pole position, if not race wins?
Well, you can't look further than the man who's currently on pole position at the minute, Max, who seems to, obviously is older, he seems to be the man to keep an eye on for this season, towards the end of the half of this season anyway. But the man who's on the roll at the minute is actually Uqbar in this Ginetta. We know what this Ginetta can do in the right hands of Andy. As Uqbar comes towards the line, and he hasn't been far off the pace in practice anyway. There he goes, at 2:20. Uqbar on the pace straight away. But this Ginetta has always gone strong here at Spa, considering it's very much a power circuit, and this thing hasn't got the most amount of power. But you can never count out the likes of the Mercedes, especially the likes of Lucas Ross. He's had a great run in the touring cars last night, other than sending me into the moon in turn 2. But JM Grill also is a man to keep an eye on with the Mercedes-Benz power, and also Dean Wisocki. Keep an eye out for him in turn 1. We don't know what he can do to there. As Holty's got major damage to his car by the looks of things, so he's been in the wall somewhere as he goes up to P5. The biggest thing they got to worry about here, Matt, everyone knows it. Everyone should know it by now. This track has been out for a while, and Holty, if he doesn't do it again, it's a very important part of this wall, Matt.
Very important part of this wall, and we saw it in Season 1, Peaceful Explosion. If you get too close to this part of the wall, you can very easily, it's like an invisible wall, and if you get too close to it early on, you will get, and Bryn I think said to me earlier that he did it this morning and got 100% engine damage. I've seen Mike get suspension damage and bodywork damage, but if you get too close to the wall on the right hand side, there is an invisible part of it that you will hit, and that could cause you some costly damage in this race. Looking at the grid then, as we have got Stealth Sloth in, and I saw Little Leach join the session, so I imagine he'll be coming in as it's loading up for him. Shane P7 at the minute, quicker than Dean, Bryn and Smithy. All right, Dean and Bryn don't look like they've got a representative time, Dan, but just showing that he's starting to maybe just get his pace a bit on the quicker guys and on the mid-pack guys in the Pro-Am here, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, definitely so, and it depends what car he's used to driving. If he's only used to driving one particular car, then it's obviously going to be weird for another driver to adapt. A lot of these drivers have learned to adapt to newer cars, new setups, new everything, but also you've got to kind of put your feet in the water, dip your toe in the water, and kind of understand the driving standards that you're racing against. You know, these are some of our better drivers in this league. They're always up and down from pro to Pro-Am, and all the time they're improving, especially with guys trying different cars all the time. So Shane, he's finding his feet. He's starting to find where he feels comfortable, and with that Audi and with Bryn as well, looking strong as well. The Audi is definitely looking strong this part of the season.
It really is indeed. Then Lucas Roth's going to come to the line, and he's on a flyer at the minute and does improve to P2, some 300ths of a second off the back of Ukbar. So Lucas Roth there with a great lap time. This is practice, so this one counts for absolute nothing. It's all about the race, and it's all about what you can do in the race. In qualifying as well as the race. As I actually, Dan, on TikTok the other day, saw a stat. Jenson Button went 133 races, I think it was. And PN, Jamie, if you're watching, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it said 133 races until he took his first win. Keegs, Lucas Roth, is on a very similar sort of run. 70 races without a race win. Is tonight the night?
The only one man knows, and it's this man himself, Lucas Roth, aka Keegs, I suppose people know him as. He's a very, very quick kid, and in practice, he definitely has potential to win races, especially in this Pro-Am grid. And with that car as well, the Mercedes AMG Power, as he goes a little bit wide up the hill towards the end of the Eau Rouge section. But it's down to Keegs at the end of the day. It's down to him. If he can keep himself out of trouble, he's got the pace, he's got the car to do it. He just needs to put a race together. He's had a great showing up in Snetterton in the Mercedes touring car. He had a great showing last night in the Brands Hatch Touring Car Championship. So it's just down to Keegs at the end of the day. It's what he can do with the car and himself. A lot of these drivers, I reckon, will be trying to decide what tyre to run. By the looks of things, I reckon Keegs is testing the hard tyre right now because that car is not looking happy on this first lap.
Does look a little bit twitchy and all over the place, doesn't it? As Keegs comes through down the corner with no name and he's trying to get onto a lap. We're going to try and find someone to go on a lap. Here we go, Little Leach. No better person to join a lap. Are you taking us through it, Dan?
I'll take a lap around Spa
as we
head towards turn 1 into the hairpin, where loads of cars got bunged up before, back in 1993, I think it was, and they all came out at the hairpin as F1 drivers came down the hill here and caused a massive accident where I believe everyone pretty much ran to the T-car, and then another massive accident happened also that year. As we head up to Eau Rouge and Raidillon, going through there, trying to take it as flat as possible, Little Leach taking as much curve as he can, and he stays within track limits brilliantly there as he heads down the back straight, where famously Michael Schumacher and Mika Hakkinen split Ricardo Zonta, if I remember rightly, down the back straight, and then they head into turn 4, also where Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel were being hunted down by the Force Indias. Another famous corner here where Rosberg and Hamilton made contact with one another, giving Hamilton a puncher and getting Rosberg booed on the podium when he came down towards the hill section. Now, very easy to go through this corner, a lot faster than you actually think you can. Constantly going down here, and the car is not happy whatsoever. Staying in second gear, Little Leach, and then into No Name. Very easy corner to run wide. Think you can take more speed than you can. But Little Leach, once again, beautifully taking track limits as he should. Heading down towards Pouhon. Very difficult circuit, left-hander. Very easy to throw in too much speed and run wide. And then obviously the exit, just the cars are burning and screaming at this point as we head towards the final sector now of this circuit into a slow chicane. I believe Lance Stroll had a big shunt here a couple seasons ago. Nice and steady and patient through this section, making sure the car isn't wanting to slide out, and then into a slow right-hander. Very easy to run wide here and touch the gravel trap and lose a lot of time. And then it's pretty much flat out from here till the end. Touch a little bit of curb. This is where Andy and myself really struggled last season in the wet conditions, both of us dropping it there towards the end of the season. If you're in the Mercedes or in a very powerful car, down the back straight, you'll be looking to extend your legs as quickly as you possibly can. And towards the quick left-hander, very easy to run wide. Max Verstappen going around the outside of Nasser through that corner and then set his name in Formula One. Into the bus stop chicane. Used to be an old different layout back in 1995. But we got this right left-hander, making sure you get a good exit. And if you're Little Leach and if you had a decent lap time, you will complete a lap and do a lap of a 2-minute 21.7, and that is a lap of the famous Spa-Francorchamps with Little Leach in the Audi.
It is indeed. Now let's not forget Little Leach was quicker before he left the session than Max Mulder, but the session is complete and we're just seeing which drivers are coming to the end. Little Leach is done then. Dean Wysocki, I think, is the last man on a lap. Welsh is just coming to line, as is his teammate Stove Sloth, who's not got a time in yet. Goes to the line, goes 11th fastest. Welsh comes to the line. What's he going to do as he crosses it? Goes, you'll have to wait and see, because I think he goes 11th fastest according to my phone. We'll double check that one here. Looks like he has, though. But Ukbar currently setting the pace 3/10 quicker than Lucas Roth, the only man in the 2:19s. Now, someone else has the ready up button because there was a little problem before we came on air. They've pressed it. They are an absolute legend. And we can get going, Dan, for qualifying. 13 people have voted in the chat. They've gone the way of Max Mulder. Who are you going for, Dan?
Wow, as we're in Belgium, I really don't want to curse him, but this man's been on the roll this season so far. Ukbar, I reckon, is the man to keep an eye on. I've seen the pace of this Ginetta. I've sat behind that Ginetta long enough to understand the pace of it here. So I think Ukbar is going to be the man to watch out for. And going to your question about longest amount of time without getting a win, it was actually Perez, 190 race wins until his first win in Formula One. Says at PN Motorsport. I believe you are right, though, with 133, did you say?
I do believe, yeah. I saw a TikTok the other day, and I'm sure either 113 or 133. And I thought, oh, there's a good one to use for Keegs. But yeah, I've just seen the Perez comment in the chat. I'm going to go with Ukbar as well. I think Ukbar does have that qualifying pace and that know-how in qualifying to get the job done. Nobody, though, Dan, and let's not forget, this is a long lap here. Nobody seeming to come out and set a lap time rather soon, so they're all taking their time. Do you want to know the lap record?
Sorry, go on.
The lap record for around here, and I'll give you the real life record. 2 minute 18.1 by Marco Mappelli in a Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo at the 2020 24 Hours of Spa. So a 2:18.1 is the lap record in the real world. We compare that to our lap record, and we'll give qualifying and the race. 2:19.1 Ukbar in qualifying, and a 2:20.5 by our very own Emplava.
Good old Emplava. But let's be honest, those times would have been broken last season. But without the rain and snow,
I think we was fine on the Wednesday, if I remember right. Pro-Am was fine. I think it rained for race 1, but maybe it might have been dry for race 2. Because I remember me and Emplava said we're going to quali last.
I still get nightmares.
Oh, I bet.
Especially going up Eau Rouge and dropping it all on my own. You know, thinking that's the title gone. But it's a shame that Andy won't be racing with us tomorrow night. But what a season finale that was. And that's the nice thing about Spa. No matter how many times we come here, it always produces great racing. It always produces what we want to see. And obviously, with the way the track is laid out, Sector 2 is such a technical sector. That's where Ukbar is going to find that advantage. But down the back straight and towards this section as well, Holty and the Mercedes, Lucas Roth, JM Grill, all those guys are going to be using that Mercedes power. The Audis, I think, are more an all-rounded car. So keep an eye out for Max and also the Lamborghinis. Don't count them out because they can also have a good run themselves.
Dan, we've just said Ukbar for pole. Ukbar, DJ, Phil and Dean have a qualifying ban for retiring last week. So we've both just tipped Ukbar for pole. He's got a qualifying ban.
Honestly, I've reviewed so much on the weekend. I think there was something like 30 old reviews that I had to look at over the weekend with myself and the other stewards. And I've forgotten who's on what. I've even missed clips that I was meant to post. It's just Zolder was such a mess. Yeah, that I honestly don't know what's going on. But yeah,
I think I worked out there was some 80 penalty points you gave out over the weekend for the drivers.
Yeah, I was not a happy boy. Let's say that. So my eyes are going to be... my notepad is ready to go. I'm ready to see what happens tonight. But yeah, it's... I totally forgot about them. So Ukbar will not be taking pole position.
So then, Dan, let me ask you the question. Who's your tip for pole position?
I'm going to say Keegs. I'm going to say Lucas Roth.
I'm going to go Little Leach. I'm going to go Little Leach.
None of us are going for Max. You're not going for the newcomer Max. And currently Max is out on track. He's going to be the last of everyone to set a lap time. So actually, well, the guys in the pits as well. So Max, who I obviously haven't got to see how this guy raced yet. Obviously, I was a week away. So we'll see how he gets on here at Spa. A lot of these drivers have raced here at Spa, but it is going to be Holty. He's going to be the first man to set a lap time through here. As he comes through the middle sector now, And from what I've seen from this lap, it's been a pretty tidy lap from Holty so far.
It has been a tidy lap, but it's 3/10 slower than the quickest first sector of JM Grill at the minute. So although it's been tidy, he has got the best second sector though. So he's at the minute flying in that middle sector. So we'll have to keep an eye on what he's doing. But JM Grill the quickest through sector 1. We go back. I want to just go back to, you say, last season in the snow with you and Andy. We were ebbed and flowed. Andy won race 1, you won race 2 and took the championship because where Andy finished. Let's not forget the season 3. You and Biggs hunted Andy down in that Ginetta for the whole race, pretty much. And he outdid you in that Ginetta. And that just goes to show how much time he's won and lost in the middle sector. As Holty then is going to be the first man to the line and does a 2:27. That's a good banker for Holty then. But JM Grill, the next man to watch. Little Leach and Welshie are side by side. Here we just see that Audi losing out in a straight line to Welshie. And Little Leach goes third, 1.5 seconds off the back. JM Grill, though, is quickest through the first sector, so I'll have to keep an eye on what he does. Not purple middle sector. Holty had that under his belt. Bryn to the line, just behind Smithy, getting a bit of tow from Smithy. Goes P3, not a bad lap from Bryn starters. JM Grill to the chicane. No teammate for him tonight as he's got steering wheel problems. To the line though, he's got Shane just in front of him. He'll be getting a little bit of slipstream from Shane, just about, maybe not actually. Shane to the line goes P4. JM Grill goes second, half a second off the back of Holty. What can this man do?
What can Keeks do? Can he put it on pole position here tonight?
Oh,
Crosses the line and only goes 7th. Now, is this a preparation lap? Is he just trying to get the car in the right window? That is the question as Lucas Roth carries on.
The interesting thing in qualifying, Dan, obviously it's a half an hour race, it's a 10-minute qualifier. Do they go the soft tyre and risk being up to temperature quicker? It's a 2-minute lap, so it's a long lap to get the hard tyre into a window that works. Is it a short enough qualifying at 10 minutes that they can risk that hard tyre?
It depends on what people's strategy are, really. If you're Andy and you like to run low fuel, then you have no choice but softs. The soft will fire up at the right time, will be ready for you for when you want to fire them up and be able to have the lap time when you want it. But it is a long lap. That tyre's got to survive for near enough 2-minute 20s to get around, as Max coming through the final sector. Now, but if you tend to go for my strategy, what I tend to do, I like the hard tyre. The hard tyre always seems to work for me on the cars that I use. I'm quite aggressive on the tyres, so they fire up relatively quickly.
Yeah.
They don't seem to work at their best until lap 2, possibly lap 3. So you either fuel the car enough so that when you get on to lap 2 and 3 that you're at your lowest. As Max now exits the final corner, what lap time is it going to be from him? It's going to put him fastest of all with a 2-minute 20.0. Holty is the next man to come across the line, but it all depends on which tyre they're running, Matt. If they're running soft, they'll go flat out from start to the end of their lap. Holty doesn't improve. JM Grill is also in the middle sector right now. Can he improve? Little Leach went back in the pits as he was stuck behind Welshie for a while, and Bryn's going to be next.
Yeah, and you look at the Go on, sorry.
If it was me, I would be going on a hard tyre and making it work towards the end.
Now, Lucas Roth has just gone purple sector 1 on my timing screen then. And if you look at Holty and Shane, they are done for qualifying. They will not get another lap in here. I'm sure I saw another car in the pits. They will be done as Bryn improves by 9/10 to put him on the back of Little Leach. So Little Leach now got to start sweating a little bit as Bryn in the box seat. And JM Grill goes round at the exit to the chicane. He is now done. Max is done as well. So Little Leach, Lucas Roth, the two men that could maybe stop them. Good evening to Fury's mum and to Digger in the chat. Nice to see you both here. Here then comes Lucas Roth, and can he improve on that time? He does, and goes second, a 10.5 off the back of Max Mulder then, and Max is in the pits. Lucas Roth will get, crucially, Dan, one more lap in.
He does have one more lap in. That car is going to be at its fastest. Low fuel. If he's closed the radiator a little bit, he's going to be not dragging too much as well. So Lucas Roth, this is his chance. He will be the last man to set a lap time here, and he goes through Eau Rouge and Radion with no issues whatsoever. Little Leach is now coming into Sector 3 in the Audi. Little Leach, the ex-pro champion in the Constructors with his brother. First time back in Pro-Am. What can he do here in the Audi?
Dan,
he's really had an up and down season.
His first sector time on my phone isn't looking that great, a 46.7 when others are in the 37s, 38s through sector 1. So his first sector time wasn't that good. His second sector, again, a bit meh from Little Leach. So he's got to make sure he will get one more run in. But I'm not expecting anything from this. He knows he's got to do something here. But what can he do? That's the question. No improvement. He's really got to give it everything on this last lap. The next car just come through Sector 2. Welshie will be the first man to finish.
He will be the first man to finish. The two father and son Welsh brothers.
Brothers.
Might as well be. The Welsh duo here, as the father of the two is coming into the final sector now. Welshie is going to be pushing that Lamborghini. He goes wide. That's track limits there. As Lucas Roth is bailed, he's not going to finish the lap. And he is going to be starting second on the grid as it stands. But Welshie is coming into the final sector now, into the final chicane, towards the line. Can he improve on Shane? He just needs to find 800. He has a little wiggle there by the looks of things. As he comes to the line,
no improvement.
Does not improve. It's now down to this man. All eyes are on Little Leach. Has he pulled a blinder? Has he left it to the very last moment? Are those hard tyres right where he wants them to be?
So Shane then getting a 7th place and out qualifying Welshie, Smithy and Stovesoft. That's not bad for Shane. That'll give him a lot of confidence. His teammate Bryn is up in 6th. They cannot change. It's all about what this man can do. Needs exactly a second to get ahead of JM Grill. And as we come down towards Pouon now, it's all about what he can do coming into this corner. And he's got to set this part up right to get his exit in towards the chicane coming up in a moment. Absolutely spot on. Doesn't run wide, doesn't touch the inside curb. Lovely done. Now, tricky chicane coming up. Very easy to take too much curb and lose the rear. Little Leach just feathering the throttle, you can hear. Absolutely does it a treat. Again, cautious on the exit. Very nicely done. Comes up to the Sector 2 timing beam. What is this time going to be? What will it say as he crosses it? He's a second, 1.3 up on his time. It's not good enough for pole, but it's good enough to take him right into that top 4 shot. And Dan, at the minute, this could take him onto that second row of the grid in front of Holty.
It all depends on how much time he lost in the chicane. It is down to Little Leach. This will improve his qualifying position. You want to get at least in between the two Teletubby Motorsport boys as he comes to the final chicane. And Little Leach has got to nail the final chicane. Be as patient as he possibly can. On the brakes, through the chicane he goes. He needs to get a good exit. He needs to control the rear of the car. A little wiggle on exit towards the line. Little Leach, is he going to take it pole position here?
We'll have to find out. Did he go third? Oh, did you catch that? Third he went then. Right. Third. Yes, third place. So Max then, once again, will take another pole position. Great qualifying from him. JM Grill down in 5th. Holty dropped to 4th. Lucas Roth keeping that front row grid as well. But Max Mulder then, pole position once again. And that's another pole position for the Audi. Means that the Mercedes-Benz doesn't get its 50th yet. The Audi is now 1 pole position ahead of the Ginetta overall on 19 pole positions, 11 in the Pro-Am and 8 in the Pro. The most important thing for Max is that is another point in his championship. He's now on 53 and is only some 15 behind behind DJ Phil. But Dan, it's all about this race. We've seen in Season 3 how bad it can be when you have an incident into Turn 1. Who's your tip?
Well, definitely. So let's just do a quick run off the grid. Uqbar will start at the back of the grid with DJ Phil and his teammate alongside him with Dean at the back as well. Stovesoft on 10th, Smithy in 9th, 8th is Welshie, 7th will be Shane, 6th is Bryn, 5th is JM Grill, 4th is Holty, 3rd is Little Leach, and on the front row is Lucas Roth and Max. Max is going to be under massive pressure going up towards the top of the Camel Straight. But if I were to pick a driver here, Matt, it's going to be difficult to choose, but we've got to keep a man on Uqbar at the back. If he's patient, he can make his way through. But I'm going to go for Lucas Roth on this one.
I'm going to go Holty. I've just got a feeling that, I've just got a feeling that Holty could do something then as we come through the pack then. Nobody on a special appearance today. Everybody sort of making their way up that list. But in terms of a race win, I'm sure Keegs would love to get number 1 on the board. If you're Holty, you'd probably like to get number 6 on the board. If you're Max, you'd like number 3. If you're Little Leach, which I find very surprising, he's only had 6 wins. 3 of them have come this season.
Yeah,
but then,
even amount between the two.
Here we go. We are syncing up. We are getting ready. The revs are rising here in the Ardennes Forest. It's about to be lights out. It's green and go, and Holty gets an absolute flying start from the second row of the grid, but comes across Little Leach and puts Little Leach in the wall. A wiggle for JM Grill, and Welsh has to avoid, and they all break into turn one, and Lucas Roth tries to get the outside line on Max, but cannot do so, and that is an absolute great start from the Audi. He's already gapped the Mercedes-Benz boys as they are side by side coming towards El Rouge. Holty and Lucas Roth. Lucas Roth tabs on the brakes and tugs back in because he doesn't want to be side by side up here. Now who's brave to go flat through El Rouge? Dean's already made up a couple of places. Uqbar looking to be patient. In fact, Dean's off. DJ Fields had a spin, and Welchie involved in an incident there. So what happened at the top of Radion? Max, though, being hunted down, and Little Leach now trying to push Holty, and they bounce off, and Holty's in the wall, and Roll comes on right in front of Smithy, I think. No, Little Leach he was, and manages to not cause too much mayhem.
Wow, all sorts of chaos going on there. We got 3 cars in the background dropping it at the top of Eau Rouge. We got Bryn and Holty coming together at the top. At the end of the Camel straight, but Little Leach is just on the back of these guys. But all that's managed to do is allow Max to just disappear away with 2.8 second gap already over Bryn. Lucas Roth not with the best start. Looks a little bit safe from him at the start of this race, and he was just unable to just get that car fired up and on his way. Is that Shane with damage on the rear wing? No, it just looked like he was gone. But nonetheless, all those guys have cleared it, and Uqbar keeping his nose clean and has cleared 4 cars already and is on his way towards the front.
On his way towards the front, and yep, Little Leach and Holty having a bit of an argy-bargy coming down the Kemmel Straight, allowed Bryn to get through. Bryn came from 6th on the grid, and he's P2 already, as Max then already starting to pull away from Little Leach and Bryn, as Bryn just missing the apex, but manages to keep that in front. Now, look at the Mercedes, stretch its legs over the Audi already, and he's going to try and take on Bryn here, down this back part of the track, and a tricky part to overtake this section, because you're constantly turning the car, and you constantly did turn left or right, and I believe no 13 drivers, is that right? Yeah, that is right. No, that's correct. I thought we lost a driver there, but Welshie is very slow. In fact, I think he's stopped on track. Oh, Lucas Roth. No, he's very slow. I think Lucas Roth tapped the rear of Bryn then into the chicane. Just under braking. Bryn's recovered to P4. Lucas Roth carries on his way, but I think Gev Bryn a little tap up the rear under the brakes into the final bus stop chicane, and that's allowed Little Leach up into 3rd and drops Bryn down to 4th. Keegs then just struggling to get that Mercedes-Benz stopped in the end of the at the end of the lap.
Was that a push to pass there, or was that an accidental knock onto the rear? We just don't know. Is Shane still managing to stay in that 7th place position right now? He is being hunted down by Smithy, soon to be Uqbar as well. Uqbar is on a mission to try and get himself as far up the grid as he possibly can. But Little Leach now, as you see there, Holty in the background, carrying damage as the pit window does open on the end of lap 4. So they've got a while to go yet. Holty having to drag that car. And best thing to do right now is just allow cars through and just get to the pit window as quickly as you possibly can.
Indeed it is, and you can see how much he's struggling there. JM Grill just drove past him like he was standing still, but Holty managing to come back to him in the corners then. Holty a lot of work to do already. There's one man that will be able to pit, and that man is Welshie, who is just coming to the pit lane now. It's a good job it's a long lap here, because he may not get lapped.
No, he may not get lapped, and obviously that will be his pit stop done. He won't need to pit again. Obviously, with no rear wing, that car will be undrivable. Even though myself and Fury managed to drag it home at Long Beach, but trust me, it was lucky that we had a street circuit and it had loads of walls, because if there was any grass or dirt, we definitely would have been probably in it.
Now, Bryn here has his championship rival right in front of him, Dan, and actually, arguably, looks like he's gained a bit on Little Leach with his other championship rival down in P8. He's got past Smithy, and he's heading down towards Shane, but Bryn at the moment hunting down his rival and looking like he's just closed the gap this lap a little bit, Dan. Bryn clearly on an attacking sort of mindset and wanting to get that place back from Little Leach then, as they come into the end of their first proper flying laps. We'll be able to see the lap times coming in. Welshie's still not yet away, as Max is coming down towards the bus stop chicane. Round Blanchimont they go now. Welshie's just out the pit lane, so should get out the pits before these boys. Little Leach on the grass. Bryn has a huge lift off the throttle there. Didn't want to run into the back of Little Leach then. And at the minute, Dan, we're seeing Bryn. Is he going to look up the inside and send one? Tell you what, he's going to look for it and does manage to get it stopped on the apex. What a move, Bryn!
Yeah, very good move.
Oh, no! Oh!
Whoa! Both drivers there somewhat syncing with one another and both sliding there as they exit the final corner. So I'll give them a 10 out of 10 for synchronized drifting there from those two. Very good. I enjoyed that very much. But Bryn does get that job done.
Oh, wow!
The car just hits the back of Shane quite hard there. And he does not want another qualifying ban. He'll need to get going as soon as he can, and he does get going. So and that looked like Ugbar's fault there.
Yeah, day late, dollar short on the brakes, if you ask me. Shane has stayed P7, so hasn't actually lost out to Smithy or anything, and is still going, so good stuff. Self-off on the back of Smithy. He's looking for a way through. Wow, a lot of curb from that Lamborghini up the top of Eau Rouge and misses the curb at Radion, but now gets a good run in that slipstream, and you get a good exit at the top of Radion, Dan. You're all over the back of the car in front as Smithy already goes to defend, comes back across. He can't come across anymore now, and he's going to stick to that right-hand side and brakes a lot earlier than Stealth, but the question is, does Stealth have it done to turn it in? Yes, he does. The Smithies gave him that place, and that one is job done and put to bed. Shane can now hunt down after Holty once again with Holty's damage, but Bryn at the minute, just slowly, you get the feeling, just ever so slowly, gapping Lidl-Leach a little bit, although Lidl-Leach gained a tenth or two through that corner.
Yeah, definitely so, as they now come down towards P1, and Bryn just now trying to get a bit more comfortable. It just seemed like Bryn was just struggling to get those tyres to warm up. But he looks like he's in the groove now. Can he bring that gap down to Lucas Roth? That's the question. But Keegs now just seems to be in a groove a little bit here. He's just matched Max for his lap time. Max at the minute just able to lap a little bit quicker. No problem so far. He's got a nice comfortable gap. He doesn't need to push too hard. As Smithy currently in 9th place and on the back of Stealth Sloth. So you've got a good fight between Stealth Sloth and Smithy right now, and also a Lidl-Leach and Bryn. Smithy looks like he tries to get the undercut, but Stealth Sloth defends the inside for the right-hander. And Smithy's just going to have to go the long way round, and Stealth Sloth does touch the curb. Both just go a little bit slow through that sector there.
He touched that curb. He's also hit them bollards, and when you hit them bollards, Dan, they can actually give you some front aero damage, so you make sure you don't want to touch them too much. And as Bryn has really gapped Lidl-Leach towards the end of this lap, a good 3/10 or so, needs to make sure, great move last lap, he needs to make sure he doesn't have to have the wiggle out of the chicane like he did last time around, gets it fine this time, and Bryn here, a real man on a mission, Dan, looks like he's got some stellar pace compared to Lidl-Leach out there, improving once again as Lucas Roth matching Max Mulder out front. Now Shane can hunt down Holty. The pit window has just opened, so for the drivers, they can pit at the end of their current lap. So this means Holty, you'd imagine, will be the first driver in to get rid of that damage.
Oh, Shane just a little bit loose there on exit there, but he's managed to catch it. Very good job there from Shane to be able to catch that. Smithy right on the back of Stealth Sloth. Oh, Stealth Sloth touches the curb, and his Lamborghini did not like that, and he gets going again. But you say Max and Lucas Roth are matching. I would say Lucas Roth just needs to be out by a couple of half a second here. Max just seems to have that advantage right now and is able to pull away. And Smithy always very wide.
He's going back to Zolder. He's that far wide at the top of Radion there then, and you're right, Lucas Roth just needs to get him tyres turned on. Who's that? That's Lidl-Leach, who's had a problem, and Bryn's biggest title rival is off and rejoins behind Shane, well ahead of Stealth Sloth. And I'm sure Smithy will not want to see the sight of his teammate, just the car in front of Stealth Sloth. But that, for Bryn, releases a load of pressure, helps Holty out a little bit. And Bryn now, his biggest rivals, Ugbar and Lidl-Leach, are right down the order. Bryn sitting in a comfortable position. Halfway stage of the season, let's not forget, Dan. So we're going to start to be keeping a closer eye on this table as we go each week now. And Bryn will be loving what he's seeing at the moment.
If I was the driver, if I was Bryn right now, I would not be worrying about the championship. I'd be worrying about each round as they come. Just focus on scoring good points. But the man he needs to keep an eye out is this man, Lucas Roth. He has been very solid the last couple of rounds and has been scoring consistently. Right now, Max has got that gap to Lucas Roth, and Keys could just follow him home. Max, obviously, a long, long way to go before he's properly in the title hunt. So Lucas Roth will probably not be too bothered that Max is leading this race. He could just probably follow him home and score some very, very good points.
I think Lucas Roth's made a mistake on the last lap, Dan. There was a couple of them green bollards flying as they come through that middle chicane. And Lucas Roth has all of a sudden lost a lot of time to Max, a good 2 seconds. I reckon Lucas Roth's made a mistake this lap as they're coming through the bus stop chicane. Are we going to see anybody in the pits? I would imagine we see Holty come in, the car in front of Shane, and Shane has the current championship leader gaining on the back of him. And yes, look, Holty is going to come in.
Yeah, Holty first man into the pits, and we're not surprised by that one. Lidl-Leach also into the pits. Gets his pit stop done and out the way. And my question again is is Little Leach running the soft tyre. He seems to prefer the soft tyre on the Audi. And obviously with the hotter conditions, we got a lovely British summer here, especially for the touring cars last night. We didn't see a cloud in the sky. Zugbar's also into the pits. So the temperatures are going to be high here, and they're not going to be very nice for the soft tyres. They're very good for a one-lap pace, but an overall race pace, I think they will struggle. Dean's had a horror show this race already, obviously being caught up with that first incident and currently down in 12th place position.
I'd imagine Dean should be coming into the pits if he's got some damage from that first lap collision, as DJ Phil has to carry on his way. Stelsloff's got to find a way back past Smithy now. And if you look at Lucas Roth, look, last lap must have made a mistake. He was really slow compared to Max Mulder then. Bryn just losing out to second to JM Grill on that last lap. And I tell you what, the Super Crash Bros here, to say they lost Shenron early in the season, they've brought Shane in, who had a bit of a poor coater. Oh, Bryn, bit wiggly, and that has invited JM Grill up the inside. Bryn tries to fight it back, but has to let that one go and yield the place. And a mistake from Bryn invites JM Grill up the inside at the corner with no name. And just as I was complimenting the Super Crash Bros team.
Yeah, definitely so. As Little Leach now got Holty breathing down his now. I think Holty's gone round. Yeah, Holty has gone round. He was just hunting down Little Leach there, and he just made a mistake as he went to the top of turn 4 there. So he's going to have to re-evaluate that and come back at them as Stelsloff, as Smithy has now made a gap over Stelsloff. You hear that Lamborghini revving like mad there as Stelsloff is dropping down the gears. But it's all just flattened out a little bit with guys taking their pit stops. Welshie a lap down now. But obviously Max will have to do his penalty, so will the rest. Welshie will be able to go to the end of the race now as Max comes into the chicane. And he carries on through, and he seems to have that car not hooked up, but dancing the way he wants it to dance, like sliding in the right places and being able to turn that car really well. As Lucas Roth now peels into the pits. That's both of the Teletubby Motorsport done with their pit stops.
Interesting stop for Lucas Roth then. Is he looking at the undercut? What will JM Grill and Bryn do on this lap? I think Bryn, yes, look, is going to come into the pits. So Bryn then losing that place. And is that a strategy? Oh, Shane! He's made a mistake at the chicane. He's got plenty of time to rejoin and gets going right now, but he's made a mistake. Now, Bryn made a mistake on this lap. Is that clever of Bryn to get his pit stop out of the way after he'd lost out to JM Grill, maybe?
Possibly so, but you still lose that time. You don't really gain any of that time back. You're still going to lose a huge heap of time no matter what happens. So, yeah, Bryn's come in and got his pit stop done and out the way, and he's gone already. But it's still going to hurt him no matter what he does, and it depends on where he comes out window-wise, as Lucas Roth has done his pit stop, and he's just got Shane to clear. Max now has got a bit of pressure here. He's got to think about when he comes in, because Lucas Roth with his pit stop is 30 seconds behind, and we know, Matt, it's roughly about 25 to 30 seconds, roughly, on a pit stop.
Yep, DJ Phil's in as well, which means the Terminal Velocity Racing boys have done their pit stop as well. He comes into the pits. Will we see Dean in? That's the question. Bryn did come out ahead of Little Leach, so he stayed ahead of Little Leach and Holty after their pit stops then. Dean does not pit, carries on his way up, ball stays out as well. And Welsh, who's a lap down and only halfway around the track, will be hoping that he can make some time up over DJ Phil. He'll be making a lot of time up at the minute. But it's all about what Lucas Roth can do. He's got to clear Shane here, Dan. This is a crucial part of this race for Lucas Roth. Has to clear the Audi of Shane in front.
He does have to clear him, but at the same time, he doesn't want to do anything stupid. He just needs to take his time, pick the right points over to take him. He knows that he'll have a speed advantage down the back straight. Unless Lucas Roth has decided to go full downforce, then he might struggle still. But he'll go through Pouon, and he's not really gaining Shane. Shane is actually maintaining that gap quite nicely. As Bryn now has lost the place to Little Leach and has gone off. Little Leach now ahead, and he stays ahead of Holty, luckily. But Bryn, another mistake. Is he on those soft tyres, and are they burning up too much that he can't control them? Shane now, what does he do as Max comes into the final corner and he continues on through? He can go until the very last penultimate lap, which is lap 13. JM Grill with a nice, decent, comfortable gap over these guys at the minute. Well, Lucas Roth, here's that Mercedes grunt coming towards the back of the Audi.
Here is that Mercedes grunt, and if you're Shane here, what do? Do you pit this lap and let Lucas Roth go, knowing that he's not your fight, as Lucas Roth having a big lift? I'm just watching Keegs on board here as JM Grill comes into the pits. Keegs has had some very strange lines through this lap on certain parts of the track. Shane then breaks into the chicane, and Shane's going to box. Just held Keegs a little bit maybe there, and Keegs bounces off the sausage curb, Dan. Just held Keegs in the chicane a little bit there.
Yeah, but I think that's what kind of Lucas Roth probably wanted, caught onto the back of him, and off he goes Nothing to worry about him now. But now Lucas Roth has got that clear air. He is able to try and bring the gap down to this man. Can he put a little bit of pressure on him? Stanislav and Smithy, these two having a cracking fight. They keep changing positions. It's evident flowing between these two right now. As every well-known commentator seems to be using that line, so I might as well carry on using it as well.
Oh, we've lost Holty.
Connected.
Well, that'll be no points, and depending on the disconnection, Dan, will possibly be a quali ban for next week. So Holty for the Teletubby Motorsport then, just when things was going well for them in the Constructors' Championship with Smithy and Little each having a bit of a bad race, has disconnected. So hopefully we can get him back in. That will help Welshie and Dean and Ukbar and Bryn and everybody out back there. JM Grill, though, has come out in this fight, look, right behind these two, as Dean now does pit, and Stelsoft looking up the inside, cannot get the move done. But Dean into the pits, Ukbar sails past. Can he get out before DJ Phil? That's what Dean will be hoping to do and achieve. But Stelsoft now has got JM Grill right over the back of him.
Yeah, JM Grill right on the back of these two, and this is the last thing he wanted to see. If these guys were a couple of seconds up the road, then he might have been able to get away with it, because they might have been able to pit. But it's come up right behind him as they come through the middle sector, the most difficult part of the track to really overtake. You can't really overtake in No Name unless you had an almighty run through No Name and then head towards Puan and get the run down the inside. It's going to be very difficult to do, but he's going to have to work. But Stelsoft really struggling here on this stage of the race, and JM Grill looking to try and find any opportunity. I would honestly say the best opportunity from here now is down towards the bus stop chicane.
Yeah, I think you're right. Dean, on his way out the pits, has just been passed by DJ Phil as Max now pulls the trigger and in he comes. Now let's watch this stop, because Keegs is coming towards Blanchimont and Max here just needs a quality stop. We've seen it done before. 30 seconds was bang on the time Max came into the pits to Keegs behind him.
That's a long hold. It's quite a long hold. Lucas Roth.
Are they changing his tyres? I wonder if he's running the softs and they're changing his tyres here, Dan, because this is a very long hold. Keegs is at the bus stop. Keegs is going to take the lead of this race.
Yeah, as we know from previous races here at Spa, if you're in the final chicane and they're still in the pits, you should jump them quite easily. And Lucas Roth, is he now finally after, was it 70?
Well, this is race 71.
Is lucky number 71 going to be the number for Keegs? That is the question. As Smithy comes into the pits, as does Stelsoft. So that is everybody pitted now. And Max has got a lot of work to do. If he's changed tyres, I thought I heard a slow car going up a Rouge, but it's not. It's Lucas Roth managing to get through a Rouge. But Max got a lot of work to do. That's 4.4 seconds he's got to find. And Lucas Roth will be on a mission here.
Now we get to see what Max is made of. He's got to test Lucas Roth's nerve. We also get to see how is Lucas Roth's nerve. He's got this race lead. What can he do? Hi to Kieran Argent from sunny Spain. He's on his holidays. Hope you're having a fantastic time out in Spain, buddy. But this man, 3.8 seconds to the Audi behind. We're going to see what is he made of steel, is Lucas Roth. And what can Max do when he tries to overtake? The Dutch fans will be chanting out the Super Max song. And can they egg him on to get on the back of Lucas Roth? The Scotsman versus, I do believe, I think Max is actually Dutch as well. So I think we do have two Dutch drivers in the Pro-Am. So it's Super Max versus Super Lucas Roth. But who's going to do it, Dan?
I really hope Lucas Roth does it. Max has already got 2 race wins. He's been only for 2 races and he's got 2 wins. I would love to see Keegs finally get that done. And so I will be pairing with him for the F2 Championship, and it'd be nice for Keegs especially, just to get that on. No! Oh.
I thought... Right. You're with Keegs in the F2. Great, let's move on.
The current running order after lap 8 is Lucas Roth leading this race as it stands, but he's only got a 2.2 second gap over this man, Max, who's on a mission to try and hunt him down. Third place at the minute is JM Grill, who's literally hunting him down in 4th. The 2 Super Smash Crash Bros of Bryn and Shane running in sync, 5th and 6th place, doing a good job there. Bryn with a bit of a bad stage of the race, probably like the last quarter of the race was a bit unstable. Ukbar is doing a great recovery back up into 7th place position after his little spin, and Smithy has now extended his gap over Stelsoft in 9th, DJ Phil in 10th, and Dean in 11th, and Welshie bringing up the rear after that first lap chaos. As I think Lucas Roth has had another moment, but he's just a little bit through the chicane, but Keegs really needs to be pitch perfect here now.
Keegs is coming to the part of the track where this Mercedes-Benz should be the more dominant car, and you just see Max gaining under the braking and in through turn one. Look, in fact, he's gained some 3/10 through turn one, but this is where Keegs and the strength of that Mercedes should show. Dean was on the back of DJ Phil. Can he get into that top 10? 13 drivers started this qualifying, which means the top 6 cannot qualify. Is it top 7 for 13? It's top 7 for 13. PS4 dead, says Holty in the chat. Oh, no, what's happened there then?
Oh, no, that's not good. Here's DJ Phil hits the wall, but Dean goes wide as well. DJ Phil looks like he's got damage there.
He's all over the place here. Dean, once again, running the trademark window wipers in typical Dean Wysocki fashion. Running the window wipers for the second half of the race. DJ Phil is all over the place at the moment, and Dean just sails around the outside. Is there enough time then? 30-odd seconds back to Welshie. Is there enough time for Welshie to get on the back of DJ Phil? Max has this gap at a second, Dan, and he is coming and coming fast.
One thing to catch, just another to overtake, especially here at Spa. And when you've got the mighty Mercedes in front of you, it's Lucas Roth really struggling on the rear there, as I think whatever tyre he's running, they're wanting to give, and Lucas Roth has literally got to be at his best at this stage of the race, because this man we're on board with right now, Max, is hunting him down lap after lap. It's going to be 2-minute 20s, and if he's put fresh rubber on, he is going to be very, very quick.
The question is, though, Dan, he pitted exactly halfway through this race. His tyres towards the end of his stint was doing 222s, 223s. Keegs has touched the curb, and Max has to go wide to avoid that one. And Keegs has got it all to do. Max still hasn't come back on track yet, but as is the curbs on Project Cars, we know what they're like. And I was just about to say, Max's tyres died at the end of his first stint. Keegs has now made a horrendous mistake.
It feels like he's hit a wall as well, because the side of that car does not look happy whatsoever. As Lucas Roth now comes up to the chicane, looking so good for him, but once again it looks like a race win.
Oh, did Max make a problem there?
I think Max went deep. So the problem is for Max here is that if he is running the softs, if he's going soft, those tyres will still burn up very quickly, especially when the car gets lighter and it gets a bit quicker. The tyres will start to burn up and give way, as Dean and DJ Phil are still close to one another. So whatever's wrong with DJ Phil's car, he's still able to stick with Dean a little bit.
He is able to stick with Dean just a little bit as J.M. Grove comes across the line, sets his best time of the race. Little Leach trying to hunt him down 3 seconds behind, and Bryn in the background just coming. Oh, this is Shane coming through the chicane. Sorry, Bryn trying to hunt Little Leach down as well, and Shane here. Bryn upgraded to the G923. He sold his T150 to Shane. Used it last week at Zolder. Said he felt better on it than a pad. Just seems to be going from strength to strength. A good 6th place and scoring some good team points for the Super Crash Bros. The only team really is to score big in this one after we've lost Holty and Little Leach and Smithy aren't scoring well. Welshie and Self Sloth aren't scoring well. Liam's not here to help JM Grill. So the Super Crash Bros really having a good, solid race at the moment. Max, 1 second ahead of Keegs, but if them soft tyres do die, he could be a sitting duck.
Arguably saying, going back to the Shane and Bryn situation, Shane is only 8/10 off the back of Shane. Like, his pace is somewhat similar to his teammate.
Yeah.
So he is able to run that car similar to Bryn, and the more he drives, the more he gets used to the wheel and just driving in general, he's going to be in a better position overall. Lucas Roth losing more time, possibly because of damage. But Shane has got a big challenge coming up ahead, as he's got Ukbar hunting him down. Last lap, Ukbar was fastest man on track at 2:21.4. Ukbar is on a charge here.
What's happened to DJ Phil, Dan? He's dropped well back from Dean Wysocki and he's now behind Welshie. That might be an incident. Look, that might be a clue, sorry. Big damage on the front of that Janetta, and he's staying well out the way because the leaders are coming through. Max, though, has gapped Lucas Roth by some 1.7 seconds. So has Keegs had another mistake here? DJ Phil staying well out of the way then, and rightly so. Clearly feels that he's caused 2 damage to stay on the track at the moment. As Keegs then, he's struggling, Dan. Really struggling. Look at it.
He is struggling. He nearly did a line I did a couple of seasons ago in the Porsche 911 where I went flying into that wall. But Lucas Roth is struggling with that damage. But is it worth him coming into the pits? is it worth him risking the time to JM Grill when he's got a solid second place here?
I
JM
think
Grill not really able to hunt him down at this stage.
I think when you look at Lucas Roth and he's kind of in a championship fight here, and this man Little Leach is down in fourth, you cannot give Little Leach that opportunity to get ahead of you and to outscore you. Same for Bryn, JM Grill as well, all three of them. You can't give that opportunity to score more points than you, so you've got to keep going out there.
Got close to that wall then.
Did very close as he's coming up through El Rouge. 4 seconds is the gap out front, and has Keegs got to wait again for another win here at Simplay Motorsport as JM Grill is on his way. A bit quicker than Keegs on the last lap, but we saw Keegs made a mistake at the end. Little Leach not really gaining on JM Grill, though. He's a lot slower. In fact, Bryn was near enough a second quicker than Little Leach on the last lap.
Yeah, I don't think so. Ukbar's already cleared Shane, so I think Shane's had a moment somewhere.
Yeah.
Possibly in the final chicane. And again, this is just things that he's going to be learning. He's got to be learning little things and just dialing them out, fixing little problems, learning, okay, so last race, this is what happened to my car, so then this race we'll just change and adjust. DJ Phil still in the pits, major damage to that car, but every single lap that Shane does, he's learning, he's adapting, and he's getting better each time. That car will eventually come to him. We now realise that this Audi is a very good summer car, but it's definitely much more difficult in the winter.
It is more difficult in the winter, and Ukbar now again a 21.5 to back up his 2:21 from the lap before. Will be hunting Bryn down, and Bryn, one of his title rivals, Bryn's hunting Little Leach down, who's only 9 seconds up the road from him. If Bryn didn't make a few mistakes earlier, we could be talking about Bryn being on the podium, not JM Grill, but either way, it is what it is at the minute. Max now some 5 seconds clear of Lucas Roth, who's just struggling. DJ Phil, a long old pit stop. He's only just left his pit box. In fact, he's only just come out the pit lane, as Max then driving absolutely immaculate tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he had that a small moment, but other than that, I don't know if he really doesn't like the hard tyre, then this is really his only option. It's going to be a lot difficult to do that strategy in race 2, especially with the reverse grid in the way, and if he manages to stay out of trouble, then it might work, but he has to hope that he has a clean start to that race.
Yeah.
Possibly let them all go off first and then pick up the pieces as they go. But he just looks like, you know, when you see a car that's sliding and it looks like it's out of control. Max's car looks like it's sliding, but it's in full control.
Yeah, it does 100%. He's gapped Keegs even more. A 21.9 from Max. Keegs crosses line of 24.3. So Keegs, whatever tyre he's on, is Keegs on the soft tyre and going till the end maybe? Because he just seems to his lap times are just dropping away here at the end, Dan. And this man, nearly some 2 seconds quicker than Keegs.
He is taking time out. Even Little Leach that last lap was quicker than Keegs. I think the problem for Keegs, he's carrying damage. You can see I don't know if you can see it, but on my screen, the front left of that car is crooked, and he's got damage to the side of that car. So is he possibly carrying suspension damage? Let's have a look on board.
Just gave us a flash of the lights there coming up the hill. So I don't know what that's for, because there's nobody in front of him. And no, he's not pulling to one side, but he's a second down on his best lap. I think Keegs is on the soft tyre here, Dan. Maybe that damage mixed with it is just causing too much.
Is Keegs watching the stream? If so, Keegs, if you're on a soft tyre, give us a flash of 2 lights. I'll allow you to flash. Give it 2 flashes and we'll know that you're on the soft tyres.
Look, he's just struggling. I think them soft tyres have died on that Mercedes. I think he's struggling, Dan.
Possibly so, and this is really going to open an opportunity to JM Grill.
2 flashes, he's on the soft. His soft tyres have died, so Max then pitting for the soft tyre has really worked for him, and for Lucas Roth, it hasn't gone well at all in this race. This could be, 2 and a bit laps left to go. JM Grill could be right on the back of him here.
It's funny how we've always discussed this car. Mercedes-Benz is the favoured car by most of the drivers.
Yeah.
But yet most of the guys cannot get this car to work on hards. And the thing is, I think this car is very easy to drive safe, but not aggressive.
Yeah.
You need to drive aggressive for the hard tyres to work. And most of these guys just don't trust the hards.
And Dan,
this is the problem.
You look at Peaceful, you look at Monkey Boy, you look at Argent, you look at Keegs here. We don't know about JM Grill or Holty. Mazda's the same. All have raced that car on the soft tyre. The 2 people who race it on the hard tyre, myself and Fury. I'm currently sat second in the Pro Series, and look at what Fury's done over the last 2 seasons. So it proves that the hard tyre is the better tyre for that Mercedes-Benz, because the Mercedes-Benz rewards aggressive driving, but also the hard tyre on the car. The soft tyre dies too early. A flash of lights from Walsh here. Did he feel that Max just kind of come across him a bit as he was putting the lap on him? Yeah, it looked a bit cheeky, that.
Max does have to remember that he does not have to Lucas Roth has had a big moment in the chicane.
Massive moment.
A chunk of time there.
5 seconds he's lost to JM Grill. Them tyres are dead. And if Gary131's still watching in the chat, hard tyre tomorrow a bit, because these softs are not going to get you to the end of the race. The weather looks pretty much the same as today. Clear all the way through at the moment. But as we know the forecast, it can change at the last minute, can't it, Dan?
Yeah, it can, for sure. As I will be checking tomorrow throughout the day while at work. I'll be making sure that I have the correct weather so Matt and Peaceful don't get upset with me once again. I love winding them up just before the start of the session. Ugbar has managed to drop the gap down to Bryn.
He's pumping in 221s. He's been pumping in 221s for a while now.
He has, and the only man who's been near that has been Max. Also, Little Leach has managed to find that time. JM Grill is now caught onto the back of Keeks. Now, Keeks, Lucas Roth has really got to be cautious here. If Gary says, come on, bro, get that podium, and Little Leach is coming for them. He is lapping quicker, but I think he's going to run out of time here.
6 seconds, Little Leach. Sorry, 6 and a bit seconds, Little Leach to Lucas Roth, but he's got 1.5 laps to do so. Now, the bonus about this is it is a big track, and if Keegs' tyres, they're just going to get worse every lap that goes by, Dan. He's just going to struggle more and more and more as the poll comes to an end. It was a tied vote of 44% for Lucas Roth and Max Mulder for your race winner in race 1. So great to see the chat getting involved with that one. But this man here is just hanging on for what could potentially be a third place, because is it a matter of when, not if, JM Grill gets past?
I honestly don't know. If Keys can survive this lap without JM Grill being within a second, it's the chicane is where he's struggling. It's the chicane. JM Grill goes wide as well.
On the gravel, and he's done well to keep it out of the wall on the left-hand side there. JM Grill makes a little mistake.
It's still very easy for the hard tyres to burn up. So even though you're on a hard tyre, it's not necessarily you're safe on them. But JM Grill has brought it down less than a second. Keeks needs to survive the chicane at the two slow points of the track, which will be this chicane, the bus stop chicane, and up towards the end of the Camel Straight. So Lucas Roth has got to nail these corners, and he's got to nail the hairpin as well. He has. Max now, 21.6. He is now on the pace of Ugbar. He's quicker than Ugbar. As Keys goes into turn 1.
Ugbar gaining on the back of Bryn as well, and through Lecombe they come then for the final time in this first race. Round 11 done. It's the halfway race, next race, and Little Leach is now within some 5 seconds of Lucas Roth. I think that's too much for Little Leach to get the podium. Ugbar is within 2 seconds of Bryn, so Ugbar really trying to hunt down his championship rival at 22.6. JM Grill really pushing it up Radion, and runs a little wide as they come onto the Camel Straight here. They've really got to try and close in on each other. Lucas Roth versus JM Grill, 0.6 of a second, and that gap, Dan, is tumbling down. Look at him, he pulls out to have a look, and that was never going to work, and he backs out of that one and thinks, Lucas Roth, on you go, son, because it's going to be when, not if, I get up that inside and have a sniff of an opportunity. JM Grill really smelling blood here, and if these two come to blows, though, Dan, Little Leach is not far behind to nick a second place, if not a podium.
No, definitely so. Lucas Roth, this is the section where he just seems to be able to match JM Grill ever so slightly. Second sector, there's not really many heavy... he has a break moment through there. So Lucas Roth is struggling. He needs to just hang in there. The back straight now is where he's going to struggle towards the bus stop chicane. If he's carrying major damage also with those soft tyres dying out, he's going to be slow in a straight line. JM Grill is coming. The time is coming down. And with that dive down the inside, what's that to distract Keeks? Make a mistake so that he can pressurise him.
Well, it's the gap now, just goes back up over 0.5 of a second to JM Grill, just losing out through the corners. Keeks seems to have that strength back up to over 0.7 of a second now. He's got one opportunity and one opportunity only. But we say the London bus has come to those who wait. Well, how about 3 in a row to those who wait? Max Mulder really on a mission here. And the last time we saw a driver win 5 in a row was last season in an Acura. This man's trying to match it in the Audi, and he's getting off in the right foot at the moment. It's race win number 3. It's 3 in a row for Max Mulder then. What a sensational job. Crosses the line. The question now is can Keegs get to the line and keep it P2? Has to get this chicane absolutely bang on. It is crucial for his run down to the line. He has done. So Keegs then will come away with a second place with JM Grill finishing off the podium in third. Little Isho back down in P4. Not the race for him. Bryn, solid stuff. As Ukbar's just a bit too far behind. He's going to take something wrong out the chicane. Although Bryn messes the entry to the chicane up, and Ukbar does exactly the same thing. Steady on the throttle, Bryn. Through he goes. That is going to be a P5 and job done once again if you're Bryn. P6 for Ukbar. Good result for him. Shane has a best result of 7th place here at Simplay Motorsport. It's another 7th place. He's going stronger and stronger every single week. For Smithy, he's well clear of Stealth Sloth down in 8th place at the minute, as Stealth Sloth is 10th, is 9th. Well, she's already finished in 11th, and Dean Wasocki will be 10th. We just wait. Shane crosses the line there then. DJ Phil as well down in 12th, a lap down and finished behind Welshie. Smithy comes to the line now. Good solid 8th place for him. And it's a long old wait now for the next 4 cars to finish, one of which is Stealth Sloth. Then the next is DJ Phil in 12th, and then it'll be Dean Wasocki in 10th place. Sorry, as Stealth Sloth comes through. He had a great battle, did Stealth, with Smithy, but lost out in the second half of that race.
Yeah, it just seemed like Smithy had the overall pace. It was just those two are very well matched, went on track with one another, and it's going to be Stealth Sloth who comes over for 9th. Dean, after a poor start to the race, he's going to score more points over Welshie and DJ Phil. So that's something for Dean to think about, but he will be able to qualify for the next race.
Top 7 cannot, if I'm right.
Top 7 cannot. So
yep.
13 started, Holty disconnected, and hopefully he's got that PS4 sorted. But Dean will come home for 11th. DJ Phil has already crossed the line. But what an interesting race one. But it is this man, Max Mulder, who has taken the race win once again. 3 in a row. Hat trick for him here at Spa.
Hat trick for him at Spa. And yeah, what a drive. Who took the fastest lap of the race? I'm going to say Ukbar's got that because he had some great pace. A 2:21.1. No, Max, a 2:20.2. Keegs was even in the 2:20s. And for Keegs, he ran out of time at the end. But that then is your race result. Max will take the fastest lap as well. So maximum points from the first race. Didn't get the pole, though. That went the way. Oh, who did pole go to? No, he did get the pole. So he does take maximum points from race 1 then. And we're going to be right back in about 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Because it was squeaking like mad. It was squeaking like mad, so that's why the tap is running to stop it squeaking. Dan could hear it over mic and everything, so it would have been picked up on stream. You can turn it off now. Right.
Guessing Holty had the session. Because then I had it.
Don't know then. Right, so hopefully now this doesn't kick me out. Right, I'm just going to pop to the toilet.
You get those 3 in.
It's not. You got any chocolate tops?
Unlucky.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that boy is like a fucking bot.
You're
It's
wank.
like a bot.
Yeah, he doesn't make a single fucking mistake. I mean, I
argue.
about race pace, but still, he doesn't make a single mistake.
I argue and say that he isn't a bot. Because
Bro.
there is a reason, and I can't remember what. Oh, he hit your dad in the
closest
straight
I seen to
line.
him making a fucking mistake was going a slight bit wide of the apex of the chicane. The last chicane.
Are you coming back in, by the way? Keegs, we're waiting on you. Not just you, there is some others.
Singing this twat steering wheel song.
Aye, no worries, mate.
Because he's like, I have to turn fucking 920 degrees just to turn the corner.
Who's that?
So, bro, you're going under fucking hairpin, of course you do. So do half of what?
Is that your dad?
Yeah. It's not gonna make a fucking difference. He's still gonna be complaining after, but yeah. Bro, I got too fucking hot up here, and I just started sweating like fuck.
Oh, mate, I'm sweating like fuck's commentating. My back is wet through.
Mate, it's too hot for Scotland, man.
Episode 5 of Obi-Wan Kenobi is now streaming on Disney Plus. Oh yeah, it's Wednesday night, isn't it?
I can't fucking touch him.
Do we? Hey, you scored the most points out of the top group, so that's what you got to think of in the championship.
Yeah, you're up to 4th now. You gained 2 places.
What?
Brennan Ukbar are now tied. How are Brennan Ukbar now tied?
Well, it's gonna be like this the whole way through, and he's gonna win it, even though he's come through fucking halfway.
No, I won't. I reckon he'll fuck up.
Because I put 5th place down for Leon Fernie.
We're gonna go to circuits that you probably won't know, like Ostroslava,
Silverstone Classic.
Daytona.
Ostroslava. You ain't him fucking any good at Ostroslava.
Silverstone Classic, Keegs.
Oh, he said his PS4's dead.
Yeah, what's happened?
Oh, no.
I can't remember what 7 got qualified with.
Shane, Ukbar, Bryn, Stealth. Shane, Ukbar, Bryn, Little Each, JM Grill, Keegs, and Max.
Where's the fucking code? Where's the code to Discord?
What we're saying, Pro Club's after this.
Maybe, yeah. Why, what's the code? Oh, Discord, right.
Digger.
That. Copy. I fucking keep changing it to make sure that it doesn't change. But then it keeps changing. Cheers, baby. Thank you. I'm looking at these number licenses here. Look, we got. Take me and Dan out of it a second. Bring on a 1498. That's not too bad. Getting that up. Little Leech is worse than Bryn's. Ukbar's is worse than that.
I was a 1700 until the fucking 4
James Gill's a 1723. Dean's is a 1306. Like the next worst license is Stealth Sloth 1264. Keegs is just a C license.
Well, to be honest, he was using his other account.
Keegs is S-Class Veteran. I've got a picture to prove it.
Yep.
Pout in.
We're a pout with Bob Marley.
She took one of my beer bottles out, but no, she hasn't took none of my beer bottles out. I've had 2 wheat beers tonight, Dan. 2 Hogardens.
Nice.
Nah, you need to get on the Doom Socket shit.
The Coors Light? Nah, mate. I'm on the proper beer. 14. Started making a right racket, then went off, won't come back on.
Hey, that's what he just said to me. I told him to turn it off, by the way.
Ask him, did it sound like an aeroplane taking off?
Smithy's not happy with this Max bloke.
Yeah, neither.
Why?
Just reckons he should be in pro, he reckons.
Well,
The man is the most consistent driver I've ever seen on this.
His pace was... But this is the thing, right? His pace was no quicker than yours. Your fastest lap was the same pace. He just makes less mistakes.
Fucking mistake. I mean, I made too many mistakes, but fuck me.
If he wins this
That
race,
wasn't catching him.
if he wins this race easily,
He's won 4 in a row.
then we would have to probably consider putting him in Pride.
Yeah, we'll have to speak about it in the admin chat.
Because there's no Andy, there's no Disco, so there's space available.
Yeah.
If he's pissing it every round.
Oh shit, I'm trying to think about that.
The thing is, as well, though, is he just hasn't made any mistakes.
I know, that's the thing, right? I can keep on his pace, right? But see, as soon as fucking, like, I make the slight mistake, he's gone. Because he doesn't fuck up after that. I have to stick with him on his back bumper the whole time to keep up with him.
Yeah, I know.
As soon as I make that little mistake, I'm fucked that. The race is over.
I think his English isn't good, so that's why he's not coming into your room.
More James Grill, I don't think.
Yeah, so it's just Geeks.
Yes! Bring all the attention to me.
Party for one.
Can someone ring Aidan Moffat? We'll get him in.
I'll go and phone him. What's his number?
I thought you'd know, you busy mates.
Want me to go message him on internet?
Aye, on Snapchat.
Better hop on your PlayStation, eh? Man needs
sure
to
you
get an
probably-
interview, eh?
I'm pretty sure you probably found his fucking number on Reddit.
No, not on Reddit, mate. That's where all the bomb is. Should I? Should I actually message him?
Welcome back to Simplay Motorsport then, as we're here for the round 12 of the season, the midway point exactly in this championship as we get ready to go. We've only got Keegs in here, James Grill being French and Max being, I think, Dutch, not very good English. They've said they don't speak, so they're not in for an interview. But the championship looks like this. Little each. 22 points clear now of Bryn. So Bryn losing 2 points out to Lidley. Chuck Boss 33 points back, so he's 11 behind Bryn now. Lucas Roth up to P4, 46 off the back of Lidley. James Grill down to 5th. Holty down to 6th after disconnecting. PlayStation has died apparently. It will not turn back on, so he has got the chance to, obviously I won't go against him, it won't be a race ban, a quali ban, sorry, for next week. I've lost my timing screen list, Dan, so I don't know if you can try and get that one back up. Welshie's P7, 4 points behind him. Dean stays 8th, he's only 2 points behind Welshie. Smithy's in 9th, Max Mulder is up to 10th at a Stolsoft. DJ Phil, that Buzzy Boy, and Shane on 23 points. Pick a Mix Motorsport are 30 clear now at Teletubby Motorsport with Terminal Velocity Racing 48 behind. MC Motorsport are 80 behind with My Mate Racing going ahead of the Super Crash Bros. With My Mate Racing behind the Super Crash Bros. Don't know why that's put that ahead like that. That 5 points difference and getting quicker. My Mate bringing up the rear. And Dan, we've only got the one driver in the interview. So should we ask a question each?
Oh, do we have to?
No.
I'll ask the
Go on,
question.
good lad.
Keeks, how does it feel sending me to the moon last night?
Whoa. You can't blame me for that. I could do nothing about that.
I'm joking. That soft tyre seemed to really hurt you towards the end. We now know it was soft tyre because it was a lovely cheeky little flash, which I'll allow it. You know, I won't allow it anymore. But that tyre seemed dead towards the end, didn't it?
I mean, if I was on softs, it would be dead, but I wasn't.
Wait, what?
Oh, we said on stream, flash twice if you was on softs, and you flashed twice.
Oh, that's just a coincidence then. I didn't even have the stream on, to be honest.
Oh, right. So you wasn't on the soft tyre?
No, I was on hards. Yeah.
Was it damage then?
I had a slight bit of damage, yeah, on the front and the rear, but...
Was that affecting the car? Because you looked like you really struggled at the end of that race.
I think maybe a couple mile an hour in straight line, but not really through the corners. I just got a bit sweaty, a bit tired near the end of the race, and I just kept on throwing it about.
Obviously, a great race last night in the touring cars. You back that up. It's still now, though. It's 71 races since the race win. Are you looking to beat Sergio Perez's record of 190?
Now you say that, I think that's what we're doing.
The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, Keeks will actually try his very best not to win a race now.
Yep. That's the new challenge.
Spa, though, a track you're obviously very familiar with. You nearly won here in Season 1 in the BMW, as I believe we've just lost... No, we are down to 12 drivers, so we've not got Holty. What can you do race 2, reverse grid?
Same as every other reverse grid, try and make my way through. Nice and slowly, hopefully not make as many mistakes in the first race. And yeah, just see how far we go.
What can you do about Max? Because he looks consistent out there.
I don't know, man. I can keep up with him when I'm with him, but as soon as I make the mistake, he just doesn't mess up at all, and he's really consistent. So
Ah, well, there we go then. Thanks, Keith. We'll let you get back to it then. As Max has just said in the chat, Dan, I was also on hard tyres, but they got killed at the end. Also got new hards on at the stop.
What are these guys doing to these hards, man? Like, I don't understand how
it takes a lot to kill the hard tyre.
It does take a lot. I mean, we've only ever seen one round where they've really thrashed them, and that was Dubai, and that was like easily like, was it 100 degrees we had there or something stupid like that? Where to any human being standing on the tarmac alone would burn your feet. But
you could have cooked a full English breakfast on that tarmac. It was that hot. So this is, I can tell you now, clear. This is 40 degrees track temperature. Because it has been when I was testing it earlier for myself tomorrow night. So it's 40 degrees track temperature. That doesn't seem hot enough to kill these hards.
Well, we had it hotter, 2 rounds ago at
Kota.
Kota. It was a lot hotter in Texas, where it was 60 degrees, similar to what Dubai would have ran, and the hards still managed to survive. Much more an aggressive circuit as well. So I'm not sure what these guys are doing as well. She sets the lap time already, but it's not really a representative lap time. But I really don't understand what these boys are doing on the hard tyre. I used the Lamborghini, and the Lamborghini is not very good on the hard tyres anyway. It's not very good on tyres in general. And I'm still managing to make at least the distance of this race. So it's baffling me what these guys are doing to these tyres. As Selsoft sets the pace of a 2 minute 25.8, as Dean will be then going possibly a little bit quicker than Selsoft towards the line.
Oh, wow.
21.5.
Just a little bit, 4.32 seconds.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit quicker than Stealth's off as Smithy comes to the line. Then he'll be the next man to set a lap in. Just him and DJ Phil yet to set a lap time. And well, she's pretty much got to set a representative one. And Dean, we know Dean gets a lot of pole positions. Danny gets a lot of reverse grid pole positions. He has had a few in the past. He's on 6 pole positions. So this could be pole position at number 7, putting him up the list with Sutty, Apex, Kieran Argent, BT Targa, Disco McDisco Face and Monkey Boy. But I'm sure he's going to want to turn that pole position into a better result in race 2 as Smithy goes 2nd place.
Good lap time there from Smithy as well. She's going to be the next man to come into the pit. Sloth is back into the pits. He needs to get out straight away. As Max says, drive fast, and after 6 laps, you can't take any corner. Well, to us, Max, it looks like you took that very, very easily, to be fair. But it really is baffling me. I really don't understand. Obviously, you have a qualifying setup, and then obviously you have your race setup. And possibly are these guys just really killing those tyres that much?
Yeah.
On just, I mean, I really don't understand. Are they going for a heat cycle? I don't understand. This is the first time they come to Spa and it's this hot. But all I know is that the McLaren's very good in the snow. That's all I know.
Yeah, the Acora's not too bad around here as well, but the Acora would have definitely not even burnt the soft tyres up, never mind getting the hard tyres warm. But it's a very strange one to see this the case then. So Keek saying he didn't struggle with tyres at the end, it was a bit of damage, plus how hot he was getting in his sim rig. Max saying his tyres had gone halfway through the race as well. She improves on his lap time, but stays behind Stealthsoft and Smithy. We've not yet seen a lap time from this man, who hopefully will put a lap time in now, as he's currently down in 9th. Stealthsoft's in the pits. He needs to get out on track. In fact, no, I don't think he's going to get out on track from that pit box. So I think Stealthsoft then, he's in the pits. So he's done. P3, and DJ Phil's still not got a lap time. Oh, no, he has. It's just come up on my screen now. So he's gone into 5th. But what can Dean Wasocki do as well? She'll be getting a lovely slipstream off the back of him.
He will indeed, as the poll's gone up for the race winner, and so far 1 vote from me already, and I think Max is gonna probably come through.
Yeah.
And we might have to see how he gets on here, as if he keeps going at this rate with this much confidence and gap. He might have to step up and go in with the big boys. With
the Slingshot Motorsport guys pulling out, it might mean that he has to make his way up into that Pro Series because he's just been utter dominant. Smithy taking a second off his best lap there and going a bit close to Dean, but backs out of it, so clearly didn't feel he could go any better there. Dean is going to be the next man to finish a lap time. I think this might be the last lap for all these drivers. Dean and Welsh might, and this will be very tight, just sneak one more in.
I think Dean should be able to, and I think Welshie will. I think they should be fine for this one, but it's going to be an interesting reverse grid. Obviously, no Holty because somehow his PlayStation has just gone kaput. But I know my dad's PlayStation did that to him, and he was never able to run Imola, and then he fixed it, and it allows him to run Imola.
Yeah.
So something to look at for Holty there is hopefully will get that fixed and back up and running as soon as he possibly can, which is a shame for him because he had good pace, decent pace here, but is unable to deliver that now as his PlayStation decided to blow up.
He did have good pace, and the other thing to note as well was that, you know, he was in that championship mix. He's now going to, you imagine, will fall behind Dean and Welshie. Welshie some 4 points behind him, Dean 7 behind him. So you imagine he'll fall behind them two, maybe even Smithy in this race. So it is a shame for Holty because he will drop down the standings a little bit. Here comes Dean to the line, then will comfortably get another lap in, as will Welshie. So these two both have one more chance to improve their time. No improvement for Dean there, a bit of a poor lap from Dean. Welshie to the line, he goes second now. So popping Stoff and Smithy down a place. This man, I don't think he's going to get another lap in 10 seconds at the chicane. He's gone a little deep. Oh, no, not too bad. Bit over the sausage curb. He will not, though, get another lap in. So DJ Phil will be done. So this could put him onto row 2, or it could keep him on row 3. What's he going to do as he gets to the line? Stays P5. So that then is DJ Phil, 5th place. Job done.
Now it's just down to these two. Some of the veterans here at Simplay Motorsport have been here since season 1, and Dean and Welshie are on their way. Dean improving on his lap time at this minute. Does Welshie improve? Yes, he's fine 4/10 as well. So if Welshie is struggling in the middle sector, he needs to hook it up, and he might be able to out-qualify Dean here. So this is important laps for these two. An extra point on the line. Maybe Welshie just lifting and giving a bit of a space between him and Dean is probably what he needed, not being in the dirty air of the Mercedes. But as we speak about veterans and back to season 1, we are coming up to the 2-year anniversary of Simplay Motorsport, and I need some ideas. Obviously, Matt will be away commentating, and I will be running the show for the special 2-year anniversary event. And throw me some ideas, guys. Let's see what you want to see. I have an idea of possibly running all the championships that we've ever run here at Simplay Motorsport. Short races, events, bit of GT3s, Ginetta GT5s, Clios, all sorts of different things, even LMP2s. All probably sticking to Project Cars too, obviously, because he's jumping from game to game constantly. But give me some ideas. What do you want to see? Or do you want to see a massive event like the Bathurst 1000 in the V8 Supercars?
I think
it's down to you.
I think it could be fantastic, and I will try and get onto the headset through my phone via the hotel that I'm staying at. I will try and come on and say hello to everybody on the 26th of August, which will be the 2-year anniversary of Simplay Motorsport. Make sure you stay tuned as well, because we've got the Pro Series coming up tomorrow, the Scottish Showdown Part 2, but this time not between the drivers, for the Touring Car Championship at Knockhill on Tuesday night. Pro and Pro-Am are back next week, and then we've got F2 starting a week on Sunday. Make sure you tune in for that one, and ACC right around the corner as well. Dean Wysocki to the line though in this lap time and goes 4/10 faster. Welshie wants to open Praise Fans a bit more pace, and he does, but it's nowhere near enough. And Dean Wysocki will have a great big grin on his face then, Dan, as he puts it on pole position, ready for race 2. Ahead of Welshie from Smithy, Stoph Sloth, DJ Phil, Lucas Roth, Max Mulder, J.M. Gross, Shane Ukbar, Little Leach and Bryn bringing up the rear. That, though, is Dean Wysocki's 7th pole position, and is becoming quite a Q2 specialist here in the Pro-Am.
Yeah, definitely. So sometimes if you don't have the pace in race 1, you might have to try and do it in a race 2, as I've managed to find out this season in the touring cars. And it seems like a copping way out, but if it helps you get points and score over the season, then it's definitely worth trying and make sure that you have a better setup for race 2. Gary was absolutely brilliant for race 2.
He really was. Let me ask you a question, Dan. Dean Wysocki is up there in with the best of people on the 7 pole positions now. Based off of last season and a bit of this season at times, he's got to be annoyed at that. Don't you think?
Like, he has. Let's take Andy and me as an example. Andy is the current man with the most pole positions than anybody here at Simplay Motorsport. I'm not exactly sure how many he's on. I know he's on like 30 odd or something like mad. But he hasn't got many race wins to add
32.
To it. So there's 32 pole positions and like 11 race wins or something like that to his name.
17.
17, so there you go. He's not really been able to convert it. Well, on the other hand, I don't think I have many pole positions at all. I think I have near enough not too many off of Dean anyway. So
you're on 16 poles to 35 wins.
So it's all about, even though you may be quick on one lap, it's all about that race pace.
That's
where you score your big points.
The thing for Dean as well that I say as well is based off of last year, he had a lot of good Q1s where he was mixing it with myself and Laney and Ben Parky and Plava at times. And getting the results to not qualify for race 2. Dean wants to put himself... Pole position is fantastic. Let's not take anything away from what Dean has just done there. But for Dean, he doesn't want to be in this Q2 session. He wants to be sat in the garage, feet up, having a coffee and a break. Do you know what I mean? But we'll get back to that topic at hand in just a moment then, as we are about to sync up and we are getting ready. The lights come on. 3... It's green and go here, and look at the start from Lucas Roth, an absolute rocket from the Scotsman, up the inside of Uncle Self-Sloth, trying to go up the inside of Daddy Welshie, and instead he taps Welshie. That was Smithy into the wall, and Smithy's turned Lucas Roth around and buries him into the wall, and Smithy there has pinned him, he cannot get away. Max has been done a little bit. Shane hasn't had the best of starts, neither did Bryn, as they get back onto the track now. Dean though, and Welshie, both away well at the start.
This is where Dean had the incident before, and he's managed to negotiate Radion quite well there. But Welshie's had a great run up the hill. He's riding the toe of that Mercedes. Look, he's literally right on the rear of Dean Wysocki. He's going to go down the inside, and Welshie's going to have to be a lot brave on the brakes, and he is so. And Welshie leads now into turn 4. Welshie, brilliant move there, and Dean drops down a place. Stop. In the third place position, and Max has already moved up to 4th with DJ Phil dropping down. JM Grill, Bookbar, and a couple of guys.
Mistake, Little Each, and that's allowed Lucas Roth and Smithy right on the back of him. Who is that? Bryn has no bonnet. Oh, it's up to Welshie. Welshie is off. What has happened there? That looks like he's crabbing a little bit on the grass. He must have lost it and hit the wall somewhere. Dean leads from Max, who's got past Self-Sloth now, and Welshie has got damage on the front of his car once again. He's off and in the wall, and he's well ahead of Shane at the minute. But Dean has a huge lead over Max. Max has a huge gap over Self-Sloth, and JM Grill and DJ Phil are looking to try and make some moves here in the middle sector. Dean just has to keep this slow and steady, and he will be away surely.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to note down some things right now because there's so much happened in that one lap. And Smithy and Lucas Roth there coming together. If Smithy is allowed Lucas Roth back through with no issues, then there shouldn't be a problem. And Smithy is now behind Lucas Roth. So we'll have to see if that was given back. But JM Grill now, really the man on the mission now. He's looking to try and get past DJ Phil and Self-Sloth. And Ugbar, who's had the pace here, has always had to start from the back of the pack.
Oh, that's the line.
Goes very wide.
That's the line.
Now, Max is attacking Dean Wysocki.
And Dean has just outbraked himself, and Max casually gets through, and Dean there a day late and $1 short on the brakes, and Max once again on his way as DJ Phil has messed up the chicane and has to go over it. That gives Shane Grill and Ukbar another place. Could even invite Little Each onto the back of him, but I think he's too far back. Dean a day late, $1 short, and he's really got to now work hard to catch onto the back of Max, although a P2 is still a great result for Dean at this moment in the stage, as JM Grill has got up the inside of Self-Sloth, and Bryn into the pits early as is Welshie, and that is pretty much look at that crab. They both look at both of them.
Those cars definitely do not look drivable whatsoever. But whoa, Dean's made a mistake.
He has made a mistake, and he's got JM Grill now right on the back of him. And for Dean Wysocki, it's going horribly wrong at the start of this second race. If you're Welshie and Bryn, you get an early pit stop. If you're Dean Wysocki, you've got to regroup here.
Are we going to have an opportunity where we don't have an all-English podium once again? Max, the Dutchman, ahead of the Frenchman of JM Grill with the Scotsman of Self-Sloth.
We've just actually had a non-British podium, non-English podium.
Well, true. Let's have a non-British one then. Because Ugbar is the man on the move. Because he's currently in 5th place. Can he catch and pass Self-Sloth to make it a non-British podium?
That would be interesting.
A non-British podium here at Sinclair.
No, I don't think we have. No, I don't think we have. We've had a lot of non-English podiums last season, with myself, Ukbar, Smoky Devil, Welchie and Emplava taking a lot of podiums, as Lucas Roth trying to get past DJ Phil. That looked like Welshie's back out and on his way, and Bryn's coming out as well, so a terrible time. Look at how much time they've both lost. Bryn's still coming out of the pit lane, and Dean is now defended from Ukbar while trying to attack Self-Sloth. Has a huge wiggle mid-corner, and Dean really needs to get back in a rhythm here, Dan, because it's just going from bad to worse, and Max out front has already gone.
Yeah, it's gone. He's well off into the distance. and I don't really see anyone bothering him now. He can take it easy as they go through the quick section of the track now. I've just got spooked out a little bit then because my Alexa suddenly just turned all the lights on without me realising. So yeah, I just pooed my pants a little bit there.
As Dean then, coming into Blanchimont, has a huge lift to Stealth Sloth. Very, very wide, very wiggly. Uckbar's following as well, and Stealth comes back onto the track. Enough room to Dean on the outside, and Dean now brakes. Has he outbraked himself again, or has he done it just the right amount of time? Gives Stealth Sloth that inside. And that's clever racing from Dean there. Oh, and what a move. Dean up the inside. Stealth Sloth, though, kind of gifts it back to him. He didn't have the pressure of Dean, but did Stealth Sloth, was he aware that Dean had actually gave him the place at the chicane?
I don't know, but Stealth Sloth is looking to try and make that move. Once again, he's down the inside of Dean. Dean goes wide. That's going to have Stealth Sloth down the inside, and very good driving between these two. This is going to be interesting now. Stealth Sloth, poor exit out of the hairpin. Dean, much better exit. Head towards Eau Rouge. Dean's going to have to pull out of that one.
He has pulled out of it and sits in the back of his... What? Was that a dab of the brakes from Dean Wysocki up Eau Rouge? Wow, no confidence from Dean in that Mercedes, and that has allowed Stealth Sloth to get away. But look, the Ginetta now should start to creep up. That Mercedes, though, should easily start to pull away, and you can see it just now, towards the end of the Kemmel Straight, start to pull away from Uckbar. Uckbar, though, will he think of a dive? Max has made a mistake! JM Grill within a second!
Says he never makes mistakes, and his gaps come down to 1.4. JM Grill is on the move to try and attack the race leader here. Has he got a chink in his armour? That is the question.
JM Grill on the move, and Lucas Roth on the back of this pack here already. So Lucas Roth looking good value for a comeback drive on the back of Little Leach. Stealth Sloth not the best of run. Into No Name now. Seeing as we've got the Simplay Straight, we ought to name that one the Simplay Corner, as we've got the Simplay Straight at Donington Park since it lost the Dunlop Bridge. And Dean under pressure from Uckbar, who's under pressure from Little Leach, who's under pressure from Lucas Roth, while Dean's trying to put pressure on Stealth Sloth. It is a five-way battle, and Lucas Roth, Little Leach is round, and Dean is now side by side with Stealth Sloth. Uckbar took a bit of track limits there, and Dean up the inside, job done. Oh, huge wiggle mid-corner from Dean Wysocki. Oh, Stealth! Stealth hits Uckbar round, and Lucas Roth through. Uckbar will have to wait for DJ Phil and Little Leach. Might have to wait for Smithy here. Moves out the way, and Stealth Sloth's back going before DJ Phil and Little Leach got round. But that's given Dean Wysocki back up to third, and Lucas Roth now up into fourth place.
Yeah, definitely so. And we know that Max can make some mistakes now, as JM Grill is with him. He's not getting away here, Max. He's in touching distance. Is the second race going to hinder him with these hotter conditions? Obviously, would have been a little bit hotter in the afternoon as Little Leach goes down the inside of that left kink.
What a move!
Max Verstappen-esque move there, as he did in the Toro Rosso and Felipe Nasr a couple of seasons ago. But this time, Little Leach went on the inside, not the outside, but he's going to try the chicane, but doesn't quite get it done as DJ Bill chops his nose off there.
Yeah, doesn't get the job done, and a bit of a DJ cut, if you ask me there. I don't know any driver that had cut a nose off the front end of another's then, as Dean's up to third.
I think he was scratching the record on Little Leach's party there.
I like that one. Well done. Well done. I'll give you that. DJ Phil then. Little Leach is really struggling to get past him here. Shane down in 10th at the minute, a bit off the back of Uckbar, who's behind this little battle. Uckbar has been passed by Smithy. As Welshie and Bryn, the only two to have pitted down. Phil catches Little Leach out on the brakes, braking halfway up Eau Rouge, and that has really caught Little Leach out. And Stealth Sloth up front's made his own mistake, Dan.
He has made his own mistake. Little Leach really should probably give that position back. And no, obviously, there's nothing he could have done. But DJ Phil braking really early there. Uckbar with that major damage. Why is he down in ninth? Has he missed it?
He had the spin, didn't he? He had the spin with Stealth Sloth, got tapped around and rejoined.
Sorry, I'm just really confused.
Yeah,
really confused by the times there. All the times just threw me out a little bit. But yeah, Little Leach there, just getting caught out by DJ Phil there.
He did indeed. JM Grill at 2:23, and we see Max look at 2:26.2. Was actually slower than Dean Wysocki last time around, and that will prove that he does have a chink in his armour and can make the odd mistake. At the minute, he's regained his gap to 3 seconds, so he's back on the pace and back flying out front. Now, Little Leach is attacking the back of Stealth Sloth, and look at him, really looking as they break into Pouhon now. The Lamborghini Stealth just doesn't have the confidence of Little Leach coming through the corners, and on the exit to Pouhon, Little Leach up to P5, Dan, and he's starting to carve his way through the field, but he has got some 8 seconds until he can catch the back of Lucas Roth. And Lucas Roth there, looking at the timing screens, not really making a dent on Dean Wysocki.
No, not really. Dean is able to match him at this stage, and neither of these two are able to match the top two at the minute, who are long gone. Max, that last lap was a 2:26, so the rest were... Oh, Dean even matched him. Lucas Roth was quicker. So Max, with that mistake, lap 4, end of lap 4, pit window opens, and Max goes through. JM Grill, does he choose to opt to pit this lap? No, he goes on through. Dean Masaki coming up to the chicane. Is he going to opt to get his pit stop done and out the way? No, he tends to carry on and go to the very end as Lucas Roth is coming into the pit straight away.
Yeah, you see the damage on his car, so he is straight in once that one job done. Max back in the 221s, JM Grill in the 222s, and Dean actually a bit quicker than JM Grill on the last lap by a couple of tenths, so that is interesting as Little Leach, Dosoff and DJ Phil all carry on their way. Bit of a surprise considering DJ Phil took a hefty whack up the rear and Little Leach gave him the hefty whack. As Smithy then, maybe Smithy has had the call from the team in Uqbar because they're the two that's in the pits at the end of lap 4 as well, so Smithy and Uqbar in. And will we see Shane in as well? Lucas Roth still in the pits. He's coming to the exit of the pit, so we'll be behind this trio of cars.
Let's go on board the DJ Phil here. Let's see if he breaks up towards Eau Rouge once again. Because he just looked like he had no confidence whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's a big lift though. It's not like he braked.
I saw the lights come on. The brake lights came on.
I can't see because obviously I've got the
oh, right. The brake lights definitely come on. I'm just looking back on the stream as well. The brake lights 100% came on there. Just at the bottom, he sort of touched the first curb, and the brake lights did appear. We're just getting to it on stream as Smithy gets out the pits then, and Uqbar's coming out as well. So he's just coming up, just touches the first part of the curb, and yeah, the brake lights straight away on about half brake came on from DJ Phil. So no confidence taking Eau Rouge flat as Little Leach still has Stoussoff and DJ Phil on the back of him. So clearly that damage just hurting him a little bit. Max has gapped JM Grill a lot more, and Dean some 12 seconds off the back of him and 8 seconds off the back of JM Grill at the minute. Lucas Roth's behind this trio of cars as Little Leach has gapped them. It's now a duo of cars. Lucas Roth not close enough yet, so we'll be hoping that these may be pit by the time he gets there.
Yeah, hopefully so. As this man once again carries on his way. 2:21.2 is his lap time at the minute. As we reckon the pros are probably doing what 2:19s are probably their race pace. 2:19s, 2:20s. So if he can get into the 2:20s, he's pretty much running pro pace on his own. But he's got very, very lucky here. He had a Gary 131-esque first lap where he didn't get hit by anyone or managed to negotiate absolutely nothing, as everyone else just partens the sea for him and just allows him through.
They do indeed. As JM Grill then, he's going to pull the trigger and answer back to Lucas Roth with a pit stop. He couldn't get Lucas Roth done at the end last time. What does Dean do? Dean carries on his way. Now, we see Dean tend to go long a lot of the time. I'd be very surprised. In fact, Phil's got past Stealth Sloth this lap then. So DJ Phil's made a place over Stealth Sloth. I'd be very surprised if we don't see Little Leach and DJ Phil in any time soon, as that was a good stop from JM Grill. He's already away. So what a stop there from him. Little Leach is in. DJ Phil and Stealth Sloth are going to carry on their way as well.
Yeah, and Stealth Sloth has sent it on DJ Phil here. As Little Leach also into the pits after as Smithy's done his pit stop, so he's done his. As I think JM Grill is on the power and Keeks is nowhere near him, so possibly damage for repairs for him there. As Little Leach is now on his way, and Stealth Sloth now on the back of DJ Phil.
Shane's in the pits as well at the end of lap 5, so he's getting his pit stop out of the way, so that should allow Smithy, maybe Uqbar through as well. She's trying to get on the back of Uqbar. Bryn kind of having an unfortunate race here, and unlucky for Bryn because this will allow Uqbar and Little Leach to really close some, but Little Leach pull some points and Uqbar to gain even more points over Bryn. Not many at the minute. Who's that? That's a slow JM Grill.
That is a very slow JM Grill. Has he had a moment up at Rouge? He's got to be careful here because Lucas Roth is going to pass him and he's going to lose a position here. So
he's lost.
Lucas Roth is now up into net third because Dean was ahead of him, I believe.
Dean was behind him. Dean was behind him. So this, Dean was 8 seconds behind him, but Dean was ahead of Lucas Roth before the pit stops. Oh, right, okay. So this really could benefit Dean. If Dean's listening, I'd be pitting at the end of this lap. DJ Phil has made a mistake now. So that's gave JM Grill a place back and has gave Lucas Roth an extra place. Lucas Roth could be sitting pity for a net third. And what happened to JM Grill? No damage, so he doesn't look like he's hit the imaginary wall.
Has he done what I've done last season? Has he just gone a bit too hard?
Yeah.
Eau Rouge and Radion and dropped it all on his own and managed to miss the wall. So it's very easy to just make a mistake, push a little bit too hard. I was actually about to say, if you've got the confidence going through Eau Rouge and Radion, you should be confident everywhere else.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's just lost the rear or something and gone round.
He is only, though, 20 seconds off the back of Dean, so maybe the pit stop isn't as quick as we thought. Max is in the pits at the end of lap 6. That's a lap earlier than last time. So he comes in.
Change tyres again. That's the
Dean.
question. Stoff has lost the place. JM Grill and DJ Phil dropped off the back of this pack also.
I think Dean's going to stay. If I was Dean, if I was listening to the stream, I'd have pitted there. I'd be definitely pitting the next lap. Max doesn't change his tyres there, Dan. He definitely didn't change them that time because that was only a 14-second... Dean was only 14 seconds behind him, and he's going to come out not too far behind, so that is a good stop. But Dean, 21 seconds out of JM Grill. It's how quickly JM Grill could get past Stov Sloth. That one's not going to work. As Lucas Roth... He's in again.
He's got damage or something from trying to pass DJ Phil or something. I don't know. But Lucas Roth is into the pits.
DJ Phil's in. DJ Phil's in the pits. Now, I don't know what's happened to Keegs there, but... Well, that's a podium gone, you'd imagine, now for Keegs. Stov Sloth gets a huge wiggle on the exit to the corner. JM Grill now has found a way past and is back up to third. And Max now can hunt down Dean Wysocki, but isn't racing Dean, so doesn't really need to fight him too hard. Lucas Roth... Well, one of them are on the way out the pits, but I don't know which one it is. It is Lucas Roth on his way out the pits. I think he'll stay ahead of Ukbar and Smithy. But that's a strange one. I wonder what's happened with Keegs there, because it didn't look damaged. It looked fine.
I'm not exactly sure what has happened. Possibly could be damaged. It was just putting him off ever so slightly. You know, just a littlest of things can really just throw your attention off. If you get rear suspension damage, car is sometimes very, very difficult to drive. Even if it's like the smallest bit of damage, it still could affect your just overall driving. As Max now has a decent gap over JM Grill at the minute of 13.7 seconds, near enough 14 seconds between these two. So Max again looks like he is on his way to a race win. As Dean staying out long might be hurting him once again here. Yeah, it might be hurting him, and this is where we said last week he's got to learn his racecraft, and he's just not. He needs to pit. He really needs to come into the pits now. I think Dean should pit. Let Max go. His race is JM Grill and Stov Sloth that third place, but Stov Sloth is yet to pit. Dean's on the podium here. If Dean pits now, his tyres will cool down nicely.
Yep.
It'll be a halfway race. There's a nice stint between tyres. If Dean came in now, his car will recover quite nicely.
It would recover quite nicely. So Dean just has to use his head and use his brain to sort of do it. And if he's listening, he is boxing this lap. So Dean, if you are listening, that is a great decision because you will get the tyre temps down and everything else. And that will really help you. Max is away then in this second race. And as Dan said earlier, he's pretty much had a bit of a Gary race here where everybody's made mistakes bar Max. And he is on his way, lapping in the 2-minute 30s. Wow.
That was lightning there for Dean, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I feel it's going to be very tight between him and JM Grill.
Stov Sloth
now comes into the pits.
Yeah, I think he made a mistake as well on pit entry at the chicane. So Stov Sloth in the pits as well. JM Grill, this is going to be tight, you know, Dan.
He's going to be off the power soon, but his tyres will be cold. Oh, he's very close to that pit exit line, and we saw a lot of people in the pro crossing that pit exit line as Stov Sloth has done his more halty, so everybody has pitted. But JM Grill has lost out to Dean here.
He has lost out to Dean.
Done up this Rouge section. Dean was kind of unsensitive there, so maybe cold tyres threw these guys off, possibly.
Yes, because JM Grill had just come out of the pits, hadn't he? So that maybe just threw him off a little bit. Shane's on the back of Smithy, and I don't know what you mean about pro drivers taking the white line in. I never went across it. Bags of room.
You are literally a hairline from going over it. A hairline.
Bags of room is that there was more room I could have took, to be fair, as Dean then has JM Grill. Shane trying to get on the back of Smithy for an extra place here. The Super Crash Bros not scoring big tonight, as Bryn though is only 12 seconds behind Welshie and only 16 seconds behind DJ Phil to try and pull some points back. And look at Shane, he just seems to be growing in confidence, Dan.
Yeah, like I said, the more he drives, especially with drivers like Smithy, who are similar level to him, he's able to assess the driver, learn how they drive, and Smithy's also a very clean driver. You're able to race with Smithy, and he'll give you space, he'll give you respect as well. As Smithy, I think, goes a bit deep. and that's going to allow Shane to really have an opportunity to have a look around.
This
Two
is
Audis as well, very similar cars.
Very similar car. Shane in the endurance one with the yellow headlights, Smithy in the normal one, and Shane here just keeps having a look. We're getting to see a bit of Shane's racecraft here, something that we've not seen yet, and it's very interesting to see what Shane can do now then into No Name, or the Simplay corners we're going to start calling it. He has just lost out a bit to Smithy through these section of corners, but Shane at the minute doing a fantastic job. Was a little quicker than Smithy last lap into Pouon. And this a corner that is so crucial to get right, because if you get it wrong, it's horrible. If you get it right, it's so rewarding to set yourself up. And look, he's just gained a lot through Pouon there, and he's on the back of Smithy once again. Now into the chicane.
I think a lot of this is obviously saying he's just upgraded to a wheel that Brendan didn't use, so he's able to take lines better than Smithy, especially Pouon. Is a corner that would benefit more for a wheel than it is on a pad.
Yeah.
Because you're constantly adjusting and changing your movement on a pad. And Smithy, obviously being on the pad majority of the time, he will be struggling. But look here, Shane's had a great run. Looks to the inside, Smithy blocks it. Shane, I really think Shane should hang in there a little bit and wait to the chicane. But he's going to go for it down the inside. Smithy's going to give him space and respect.
He is going to give him space and respect. And what driving from Shane, who's got the job done and stays within the track limits. Well, I said we've not seen much of this man's racecraft. I cannot wait to see more, because that was brilliant from Shane and from Smithy. And JM Grill now within 0.6 of a second of Dean Wysocki. Dean, last lap was his outlap. JM Grill 2:23s. It's not as quick as Little Each behind, but look at the pull as JM Grill so late on the brakes. Has he made the corner? He has. What a move up the inside. And Dean Wysocki could do nothing about it.
Calculated there from JM Grill. He knew exactly what his car was going to do as soon as he went into that corner. Probably tested out in race one, and he's got the job done. Shane getting quite close to the wall.
I was just about to say that. He was awfully close to hitting that invisible wall there.
Very close to hitting that wall. Smithy, I've got to give a little shout out there to Smithy. He could have made that a lot more difficult for him. Lucas Roth.
Oh, he's backwards. Where's that at? That's just off the Kemmel straight. Yeah, that's just off the Kemmel straight. Ugbar's gone through. Oh, he's still off. Sloth's now through. Oh, steady. Shane goes through. Smithy goes through. Lucas Roth down tonight for all that hard work in race one is being undone. And Dean coming back at JM Grill. A little lag there from JM Grill maybe. Dean looking to the outside, and JM Grill now having to defend Dean, trying to get that confidence and get him back past him here, Dan. He's not done and wants that second place.
Seems like Dean has more downforce than JM Grill. JM Grill not very strong through the middle sector, while he was a lot stronger through sector one. If Dean can stick with him, he'll be able to get the toe and try again in sector two. But JM Grill not at his best here, as Max obviously just cruising his way out the front, looking to try and take another race win. Look there, JM Grill with no rear downforce, probably helping him out through that sector. Obviously the way downforce works is air pushing your car down to the ground, and the more downforce you have, the more the car will stick, especially in fast corners, especially at higher speeds. And there, JM Grill, his downforce does not seem to be very high. As he runs wide, Dean's car looked a lot more planted, a lot more stable.
And this will explain why JM Grill was able to do so much better on the Kemmel straight compared to Dean. Dean needs to get back in that tow. Lucas Roth needs to regroup and get ahead of Smithy then. Shane, once again, is in his career best 7th place at the minute. That's the highest he's ever finished. He now needs a career best. Can he get Stealth Sloth for a career best 6th, who's only at 9 seconds off the back of Ugbar? Here comes Dean and JM Grill then. Up through Eau Rouge. I think Dean just had a moment because he still had to come off the throttle, and that then is JM Grill gone unless he makes another mistake middle sector. JM Grill looks like he's away now, and Dean 7 seconds ahead of Little Each.
JM Grill has got 20 kilometres on him by the time they get to the end of the straight. So Dean with a big lift in that middle sector. As Monaghan reckons that Little Each is going to take this race win. I don't think he will at this stage.
No.
With 26 seconds behind. JM Grill just struggling.
JM Grill, is he off?
Dean's back.
Oh no, sorry, the cameraman just didn't pick him up. Yeah, sorry, apologies.
Look at this man, Shane is on a mission here. He's cleared Smithy and Lucas Roth. He's now after Stealth Sloth now, so he's clearing all the sloths.
He is clearing all the sloths. Stealth Sloth's pace last lap, Shane's pace last lap was 2/10 quicker than JM Grill. Shane is on a mission here. Lucas Roth's got past Smithy then, as JM Grill.
Once again, Dean has caught JM Grill in the middle sector.
Yeah, so Dean clearly running a different Oh no! No!
Shane, after all that progress, he's done a good job here of just waiting for cars to go by. He's spun it up, selected reverse, and away he goes again. But well done there from Shane to just wait and be patient for other cars. Take a note, most of those drivers, because that is a correct rejoin back on track. Well done to Shane to getting that going, and back on track he goes. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage.
What a shame though, Dan, because he was hunting Stealth Sloth down for a career best 6th place. Now Lucas Roth can hunt Stealth Sloth down a little easier to try and score some more points back. If you're Bryn, Little Leach and Ukbar are really scoring a lot more points than you, but you're only 11 seconds off the back of Welshie to maybe damage the limitations. This man starts lap 11 and is 19 seconds up the road from JM Grill, who has got to worry about Dean Wysocki, because yes, he's got the pace over the straights, but all the time at Spa.
Whoa, you say that as Dean just goes too far in the brakes, and he has a very much an Argent-esque kind of driving style where any form of pressure where he has to start attacking, his braking just goes miles out. And I know, for example, that this Mercedes is horrific on the brakes, from what I know anyway. I cannot stand this car on the brakes.
It's no Acura, I'll put it that way, Dan. It's no Acura, but that's just based off of what I've driven in the GT3s at the minute, and I'm sure you'll back it up with the McLaren and the Porsche as well, and probably the Lamborghini.
Lamborghini, possibly. The Porsche and McLaren are a different type of animal, I would reckon. Especially the McLaren just don't understand how it brakes. It does somehow. As I'm a bit sad to see that after the McLaren won the Pro, there's not a single McLaren on the grid. It's
as if people picked it because the two-time champ was in it.
You mean 3-time now?
At the time, he was a 2-time champion. Yeah, he is a 3-time. As Welshie then, he's trying to get on the back of DJ Phil. That gap's within a second. So Welshie trying to recover some points. His bumper, is hanging off again. So does he have a little bit more damage on that car? Bryn now is within 9 seconds. That is possibly doable if these two start to squabble. Shane is only just up the road. There's Shane, look, only just up the road from these two. Lucas Roth trying to gain on the back of Stelsloff, who's in 6th place at the minute. And Dean to JM Grill is now 3 seconds. I think Little Leach has had a moment though, Dan, because he's now some 12 seconds off the back of Dean Wysocki.
Well, his last lap was a 2:32, and everyone's fitted. So Little Leach is probably just coming home to try and score points. Bryn down in 12th, Little Leach scoring points. So it's Little Leach outscoring everybody at the minute. Max scoring maximum at this stage, from what we know. Ukbar's had a quiet race on his own, no real threats from anybody or attacking anybody. So Ukbar is scoring decent points in 5th.
Here's one for you. I'm sure Max is Dutch, yes?
Yes.
The last 6 races, if Max wins this race, has been won by a Dutch driver.
Just saying that Dutch are much faster these days, aren't they? Especially with another Max leading the throne, as Lucas Roth here is trying to get through Stealth Sloth here, as Matt does not like that comment whatsoever.
No.
As Lucas Roth goes down the inside, and he touches a bit of grass there, but he gets the job done, and he gets past the Lamborghini of Stealth Sloth there, as now Smithy is coming back to resume that path with Stealth Sloth as he had in race 1.
He is indeed then. Dean, again, just still some 3 seconds off the back of JM Grill. So I think JM Grill and Dean's battle now has been put to bed. As you see from the lap times, JM Grill's from 2.1 quicker than Dean last time round. Dean, I think he's better off now just bringing this home for that podium, because Welshie's not putting him under any pressure. Welshie's got to be careful of Ukbar though behind, but they're both lapping in the 2:21s. Lucas Roth is now past Stealth Sloth, and Smithy will want to resume. Little Leach, apologies. Stealth Sloth is now ahead of. Now behind Lucas Roth, so he's going to have Smithy catching him down. Has DJ got enough fuel, says Gary131. We can check. Yeah, it's just a little bit, as here is a battle. I'm glad you've mentioned DJ Phil, because here is Welshie right on the back of Phil to try and make another place. Bryn is some 8 seconds behind these two, and Welshie looks to the outside of the chicane now. Heavy braking from Welshie round the outside of DJ Phil. Is that job done? Not just yet, but keeps it up the inside. And I'll tell you what, Phil chopped Little Leach's nose off there earlier and makes life very hard for Welshie as well.
Yeah, DJ Phil seems to be quite a difficult character to overtake. He goes to the outside. For some reason there he's moving a lot under braking. Yeah, he does. So DJ Phil there moving under braking, and then Welshie can't see which way to go.
I think Welshie stayed behind there, Dan. He's just hit the brakes again there to let DJ keep that position. So I think Welshie's done that to basically avoid no penalty against him, because he's returned the place. But I'm going to say I don't think that was Welshie's fault. I think DJ Phil, a lot of moving under the brakes, and now Welshie has the run on DJ Phil. Up the Kemmel straight they go. Bryn only 5 seconds in the background after their little kerfuffle at turn 1. There he is, look, and Welshie coming to the end of the Kemmel straight. Can he get around the outside of that Ginetta? No.
No, he cannot.
Yes, he can.
Got the inside for the next corner. He will be on the outside.
Oh, again.
DJ Phil gives him a rub. They're both coming together, and DJ Phil has to conceive, and that is it. Welshie has gone through now on DJ Phil, so Welshie finally clearing the Ginetta.
Bryn right back in that.
Continues.
It does as well. Bryn right back in that battle as well. He's now only 2 seconds off the back of DJ Phil, and this resumes from race 1, where Max Mulder started lap 13, in which James Grill and Dean are about to start lap 13, and Smithy trying to pass Stealth Sloth. He wants to get through. He needs to get through. Oh, look at the difference in speed through the opening part of the chicane. Smithy's trying to go right around the outside of Stealth Sloth here, and that is job done. A little rub from Stealth on the back of Smithy, and Smithy, P7, great move round the outside.
Beautiful job there from Smithy. Well executed there as DJ Phil is actually coming back at Welshie here. Seems to have a little bit more pace in the middle sector where the Ginetta seems to be stronger as Welshie obviously has the power over the Ginetta. Into the wall.
Huge damage. Huge damage for DJ Phil, and Bryn now can make up an extra couple of places, maybe an extra point or two for Bryn. And he's just got to be careful and wary of DJ Phil. And I think he was very wary there, seeing that there's no rear wing on the back of that Ginetta. Now, look at this. Smithy, has Lucas Roth made a mistake? Because Smithy is all over the back of Lucas Roth. Look at that. Gets the better exit than the Mercedes. But that Mercedes should pull down the straight. We can't see the Audi appearing at the moment. And Lucas Roth into turn 1, into Lake Com, does still lead. And this is the part of the race, Dan, where Lucas Roth in race 1 struggled.
Yeah, it was. And we got a lovely view from here. Stealth Sloth watching this fight from behind. He's not quite able to get into the thick of it right now. But Smithy is on a charge here in race 2. He's cleared Stealth Sloth. He's now looking to try and get the Scottish youngster of Lucas Roth here. But he's just not got the confidence over Eau Rouge and Radion as Lucas Roth does. And that Mercedes grunt helping him just pull away a little bit as DJ Phil into the pit to repair that rear wing.
He is into the pits. You can breathe now, Dan, by the way. DJ Phil is into the pits to repair that rear wing as Max Mulder then is going to come to start the final lap of this race. And Dean hasn't really been dropped by JM Grillier. The gap stayed around 2-3 seconds. So a good job from Dean. And this... Oh, no! What's happened to Smithy?
Is it a mistake into turn 4? That is the question. And a reminder to all the drivers on the grid, Pro and Pro-Am, to get your video clips or streams sent into myself so that you can get your views reviewed. Also, we do not want your replays, as I do have a hand of replays if we want to see either a video clip or your stream. If you want to put something in, you have exactly 24 hours at midnight tomorrow night to get your appeals in. If not, then that is it. I will not be reviewing anything else. And it's the same for the pros. Midnight Friday, midnight Friday is to get your reviews in, so make sure that is done correctly. Remember, video clip or your stream or YouTube clip, whatever you have, that is best for us. And if you are unable to provide that,
let's go.
Penalised this time.
Let's go to Welshie, Dan, because he's right on the back. He's he's defending from Bryn right on the back of him. As Shane then could catch Smithy. These have all got another lap to do. And I tell you what, if Smithy, Stealth Sloth, Lucas Roth, or Shane make a mistake, these two could gain an extra place or two. These two pitted under lap 1, and they was both crabbing so badly. And it's the track where you don't want bad damage like that, because it's not really a race where you can come back through the field. But Welshie seems to be struggling compared to Bryn. And Bryn, I tell you what to Bryn. Oh, and there's a mistake.
Is that a mistake?
Whoa!
Whoa! I don't know what to say there, because I just changed to these two. As all Bryn's gone. What are these guys doing towards the end here?
They're really pushing for these extra places. Bryn sending one up the inside. He did it on Little Leach in race 1. He didn't do it to Welshie in race 2. And Bryn there maybe just has missed out, but Stealth Sloth could have some huge damage here. Bryn's got 1 lap to try and catch Welshie down, and look at Stealth Sloth really struggling. And where is Max on track? He is... I don't actually know where Max is on track. He's coming towards the back part of the circuit.
Yeah, he is coming towards the end here, and what a night again for him. 4 in a row for the Dutchman, and I think he might have to go to the admins to possibly have a discussion of going into a pro, because once again, he is well out in front. Ugbar matching his pace, though, actually quicker than the last lap. But Max, very, very good race once again for him. Top 4 races, the best he can score this week. But towards the final corner he comes as he's missed a corner.
He has missed the corner. He's gone very deep. And well done, Max, there for coming back on where you went off instead of just cutting the chicane. So well done to Max for doing that one. But it is going to be 4 in a row. He does slow down. One man who might think of maybe sending it into turn 1. There's someone parked at the pit entrance. Is Dean Wysocki. He's only 1.6 behind JM Grill, but he's way too far behind for that. There was somebody parked at the last corner there. I think that might have been DJ Phil, waiting for Max to come through. But JM Grill then is going to take a second place. Double podium for him tonight. Dean Wysocki, I'm sure, will be delighted with a third place. His second podium, of the season. And that is good for Dean Wysocki. Smithy at Little East Shed looks like he's just going to hang on from Ukbar for P4. Ukbar will come across the line P5. It's then Lucas Roth, who looks like he is going to be P6. 72 races without a win for the young Scotsman, but Smithy is gaining on the back of Lucas Roth here, and Bryn and Welchie have both passed Stealth Sloth behind. We will jump to them in a moment, but for these two, one mistake and Shane's only 4 seconds behind. Lucas Roth is definitely carrying damage here, Dan. He's really struggling. Look at Smithy. Smithy is catching hand over fist here.
He is catching him. Lucas Roth once again just has to make the final corner, and Keegs will score a second and a sixth place here. So not bad points here for Keegs. Could have been better for race 2, but nonetheless, sixth place will be good for him. Smithy another 7th place. So let's be happy with that. Sorry, 8th place before, and then a 7th for this one. Shane coming home in 8th place. Not too far off his pace, but Welshie and Bryn are still banned out. But Bryn stopped it on the final corner there. So Welshie will hang in for 9th. Not his best round, and he'll be looking forward to seeing the end of this, as Bryn and Stealth Sloth are going to be racing to the line here. And it's going to be Bryn, I think, who hangs on there, with Stealth Sloth bringing up the rear as well. And I will try and get Dean Wysocki in here as well.
Indeed, we will then, as we look for the fastest lap. I have a feeling, I want to say Ukbar has the fastest lap this time around, a 2:21.0, a 2:20.6 for Max. So Max takes the fastest lap again. So a clean sweep tonight for Max, and that is good for his championship. As we await Dean Wysocki coming in for a quick chat then, let us just sort the tables out. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. BST, Jamie Brazier and Dan Davis will be bringing you the Pro Series live from Spa, the halfway point of the season for the Pro Boys. Can the Overtaker keep up his dominance in that series, or can anybody else stop him? We'll be back live Tuesday night in the touring cars as well, the final round of the season at Knockhill in Scotland. Can Cobb, Fury or WSRCJ take that title? Could Dan maybe surprise a few people, or John Boy? I don't think so. That's a bit impossible. We'll be back live, though, next week as well for Silverstone Classic, brand new to the calendar next week, which is the man we're going to speak to in a moment, Track Choice. That'll be at 8 p.m. as well. And a week on Sunday, the start of the Formula 2. And I'll be bringing you the live coverage of that one. First of all, though, the championship standings look like this. Little Each, 29 points clear of Bryn in this one, with Ukbar now 35 behind. JM Grill moves up to 4th. He's on 40. He's 44 points behind the championship leader. Lucas Roth, 49 behind the championship leader. Dean Wysocki goes up to 6th place now, 68 off the championship lead at this moment. So really starting to gain some points. Welshie missing out. Not a great night for Welshie. He's 75 behind. Max Mulder, after 4 races, is on 105 points. He's a point behind Welshie and 2 ahead of Holty. Smithy then down in 10th with Stealth Sloth 11th. DJ Phil 12th. That Bozzy Boy down in 13th, and Shane on the back of him. Pick a Mix Motorsport then, 42 clear of Teletubby Motorsport, with Terminal Velocity Racing 55 behind. MC Motorsport are 3 ahead of My Mate Racing, and that's without that Bozzy Boy scoring any points tonight. Super Crash Bros, though, 1 point behind My Mate Racing yet again here, and getting quicker My Mate on 113. And we've got Dean in. We've also got Keegs in. So seeing as Max and JM Grill on here, because they don't speak very good English, we'll just get a word with Keegs. Keegs, just quickly, race 2 didn't seem to go your way.
Yeah. First of all, drive-through, I completely messed up. Then I got spun around, and then, I just sort of picked up a couple of damage from a couple of bollards. Paid for the drive-through, then paid 2 laps later to continue the damage. Then I ended up getting more damage, and I just couldn't get anywhere. Yeah,
you good comeback drive, though, to say he was last, to come back up to P6.
Yeah, I'm happy with where I got, to be honest, with all the stuff that happened in it, so...
Just 128 races now till you can break Perez's record. Well done, Keeg. Silverstone Classic next week, a favourite of yours based on a previous league. What can you do around there?
Not win.
I don't know. Last time I drove there, I flipped about 7 times, so we'll have to see.
Well, we wish you the best luck. Well done tonight. And we'll see you out there next week. Dean, bet he wasn't expecting that one tonight.
No, not at all.
Good pace out there. And did you think maybe at the end you was going to get JM Grill? Because you did start to catch him on that last lap.
Yeah, the fuel going down, Cole getting faster. I thought I'd be a bit braver around corners, see if I could catch him.
Race 1 didn't go your way, but race 2 much better. You took the pole position. You're on the podium, second time this season. And we head to your track pick next week, Silverstone Classic. Your first ever sim race win in a previous league round there. You've got to be confident now, the podium and going into Silverstone Classic, of getting good results.
Yeah, definitely.
What can you do next week?
Hopefully try and get a race win.
Well, we wish you the best.
History's got to repeat itself.
Well, we wish you the best of luck for next week, buddy. And we hope that you and Keeks have a great week out there. Dan, Max Mulder takes the driver of the day in the chat, 50%. Final words from you and driver of the day from yourself as well.
Once again, Spa doesn't ever disappoint. They're producing great racing once again here in the beautiful forest here. And sadly, we won't see it for next season as it's been picked multiple times. But once again, an amazing night to ever racing here at the Pro-Ams. Not as many notes for me to note down, so a post will be going out shortly for drivers who are under investigation. So please make sure you have your video clips and your YouTube clips or whatever you use to send them to myself. But I've got to give my driver today to JM Grill. He's been very consistent tonight. Very, very consistent tonight. He's been up there scoring points, and we knew Max was going to be strong. But JM Grill tonight really impressed me.
Yeah, I'm going to give mine to JM Grill as well. A second and a third has really impressed me as well. But an honourable mention to Max again. Lucas Roth for his second place in race 2 and Dean Wysocki for his third place in race 3. That's all we've got time for, though. And like I said earlier, join Dan Davis and Jamie Brazier live tomorrow night for the Pro Action. And I reckon the admins might be busy discussing Max's future, whether he has to make that step up to Pro or not. But that's all we have time for here at Simplay Motorsport. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's section. We'll catch you tomorrow night. See you later. Goodbye. Fucking Smithy at turn 1, man. Keegs, were you there? I don't think he's there.